This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. What's going on, freaks? Well, I don't know if there's a connection that we're aware of, but the connection seems to be the timing of everything. Thank you, Cheryl Bullock. Boo. That's right, that's right. Welcome, Lady Brighty. Alright, so just a little housekeeping here. Yeah, after the show, there was a few low IQ people that said that my video was clickbait. I don't know how in the hell you can come up with clickbait. It literally said exactly what the reality is, okay? That the daughter of Richard Allen is wearing one of the Libby and Abby shirts that they put out there, you know? I mean, it's just like, it doesn't take very much brain power to actually realize what somebody's saying by the words they're using. I didn't say, he's wearing Libby's shirt. Ooh, 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 ooh. I said, he's wearing one of the Abby and Libby shirts. Okay? Do you understand what that means? All right? And I even went through and explained it on the show. Now, here's the thing. I don't think that the daughter and the wife have anything to do with it. That's why I don't really show. I've never shown their faces on the show. I'm pointing that out because I think there might be something to the reason that video image was taken. That's it. Okay? The daughter, the wife, you know, they have I don't think they have anything to do with it. Anything at all. Like they're not even aware. Well, I mean, I'm not even going to say I don't think. They have nothing to do with the murders. Okay? What they now what I don't know is if they had any suspicions over the years or anything like that. I have no idea. They probably were like, no way, you know. And Richard Allen was able to hide in plain sight, even working at a place where he sees people all day long at the pharmacy. And worked right next to posters. And a poster of him on the door when you walk into the building. And one right next to him. I mean, it's ridiculous, okay? Yeah. I mean, 3 people typed in clickbait. No, it's not even close. There's nothing clickbaity about it. In fact, my titles are always pretty boring sounding. I literally like write sentences. You know, most people are like, they put stuff that is just totally bogus, you know? Like as if I talked to Doug Carter. and then you play it and it's just an interview with Doug Carter and you talk during while Doug Carter's, you know, anyway, you get it, right? It's just, clickbait is when you're saying something that's false just to get people to click on the video. I can't imagine anybody thinking that after watching the previous live that I just did. It'd almost be mind-bogglingly, that's a hard thing for me to say for some reason, ludicrous to think that. Hold on a second. What is that? Yeah, they've been in Delphi. They've been all around Delphi the whole time. All those posters. I guarantee it. You could almost never take a photograph in a bar or on the street where in the background somewhere there wasn't an image of a sketch in that entire town. You know what's weird too is I always thought, God, that's such a waste of time almost to put a sketch in that town. Like so many sketches all over the place. And there he was. Like he was right there. And the thing is the sketches look absolutely nothing like the Richard Allen. There's nothing similar. Oh, a goatee. Oh, okay, yeah. See, people like do gymnastics, just bending themselves into pretzels, trying to make the sketches seem like they look like him. They just don't. Okay. It isn't some weird combination of the. I mean, any two sketches, you could take a sketch of, you know, like Fran Tarkington, whatever. You could take just anybody, the guy that's on pawn shops, right, and then take another picture of a guy that's on, you know, like totally different, you know, Palm Selleck or something. And then say it's right in between those two. We could just sort of, you know, we could, yeah, I mean, of course, yeah, we could kind of come up with some kind of mixing around, and sure, at some point, you might say, well, okay, there's something there. Yeah, they just didn't get it right with the sketches, okay? It's obvious. The first sketch is obvious, the one that first sketch released was, and it was based off of, believe it or not, the actual video itself, which is exactly what we always thought. Oh, looks like he's got a goatee and everything like that. That one's closer merely for the fact that it has a goatee in it. I don't know, Todd. It could be a billion people, okay? Who knows? Yeah, the Blazers are playing pretty good. They played shitty in the second game against Phoenix. Didn't have anywhere near the same energy they had the game before. Yes, I heard about that, Crypto Will. Yeah, we talked about it. You should watch the show sometime. Yeah. Let's see. Lillard. Yeah, he's staying. He signed an extension for $50 million a year for 2 or 3 years. Yeah, why wouldn't he stay? I don't really even get the question. Let's see. Let me put the phone numbers up on the screen here. And by the way, Crypto Will, people like the Gralians thing. Let's see. All right. So here's some numbers up on the screen if you want to call in and talk about it. Now, again, like I always have to say this at the beginning of the show because I always just notice it's like dead as a doornail in here. But on this channel, this channel relies solely on the generosity of the freaks, the super chats, PayPals, channel memberships, and those kind of things. And then I, in turn, donate over 50% of the net revenue to charities of YouTube during the month and at the end of the month too. Okay, so when we do every single night we do shows, we bring in funds. Now, when we cover cases that aren't as big, there's less people in here, so it's harder, but we still make it happen. All right, so hey, welcome, Tired Tina. Yeah. So I want you to call in, and any of the stuff that you've heard out there. Apparently, Carter's been on different interviews. I guess he was talking about Ron Logan in one, somebody said, but I wasn't able to listen to it. Didn't have time. I might do that later. If you guys have listened to the Down the Hill podcast, maybe there's stuff in there. It just seems like they get a lot of these experts on, and none of those experts are as aware of the case as a lot of the YouTubers that have covered the case since the beginning. Thank you, Candalee Woodward Stone. Yeah. And it's not to say like we know more about like profiling than an expert, right? That's not really what I'm talking about. It's just really, doesn't it bother you sometimes when you get an expert like McDummy, right? He gets called in to do a Delphi show on a court TV, and he doesn't know a damn thing about the case. I guarantee you couldn't point out on a map where anything is going on or anything about it. And so those are the things that make you go, God, why do they do this stuff? It's wild. Yeah. All right, let me get this call here. Oh man, we get the same callers every single night, man. It's just, come on, you guys. 707, you're on.
We're all modern. We sell modern furniture and before.
What the hell? Hello. I gotta hang up. Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah, I have a question. We were talking about the theory of how the oh come on, you stupid thing. Of how the killer was moving around after he killed the girls.
Yeah.
So the theory works really well if the car at the abandoned CPS building wasn't used by Richard Allen. Or maybe it's just an outlier. The car.
But I went through the whole theory the other night. Did you not listen to that one where it was Kagan Klein who said he was waiting for somebody in his red Jeep, but he didn't say who? So he was the guy. Maybe he's the one that picked up Richard Allen over at the Marathon gas station because that's right near his home.
Right. But there's this car sitting in the parking lot of the abandoned CPS building. Where's the car?
What are you talking about? It's gone. That was it. It drove away.
But I thought they drove away in a red Jeep.
Well, I mean, people just say it's a vehicle, like they say they want to know who the driver of the abandoned vehicle was. They don't say.
Right, but it's not a red Jeep, though.
Well, how do we know it's a red Jeep or not?
I said, but look at the color.
We don't know. What are you talking about?
They were.
Are you trolling me right now? Are you like being?
No,
goofy?
I don't troll you.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is there's a red Jeep. Red Jeep. What?
At the Marathon gas station.
Huh?
Hello?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
There's a red Jeep at the Marathon gas station. Okay. But police they put out this statement. Please, if anyone knows anything about that car abandoned at the abandoned CPS building.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not even in a red.
A vehicle, they said.
Yeah, vehicle, but it's not red.
They never said what color it was.
The picture wasn't of a red.
What
car.
picture?
The picture that the Illinois State Police put out.
Illinois State
from
Police?
Some sort of, the Indiana.
No, but they never put out a picture of a vehicle.
They put out a picture of the abandoned CPS building. Next to it was some silvery or whitish.
They never put. No, that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist.
No.
Yeah.
They never asked for anybody to identify said car.
Right. They know.
At the
See, they
appointment.
know the vehicle. They said, we want to know who the driver of the abandoned. We want to know the driver of the vehicle that was parked at the abandoned CPS building. They likely
Right,
know what type of car was parked there, and they probably are monitoring somebody to see if they do something with that car after the press conference. But there's never been an
Yeah.
image released of a car parked there. There's never been anything like that at all.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, where are you getting that
Well,
from? Well, I'm kind of curious. I'd like to, you know.
Okay, well, from the press conference, Carter said, please, we want to know who the owner or the driver
Of the vehicle.
of the abandoned of the car.
No,
at the
they want to know what the abandoned
CPS
vehicle, the vehicle that was parked at the abandoned CPS building.
Yeah, precisely.
Right. So why are you saying it's not red? I mean, how do you know that?
Because they showed a picture of it.
They did not show a picture. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They did not show a picture of it. Put a 1 if
Have you
anybody's
gone
seen the
to
picture
CPS?
that she's talking about of a car parked at the abandoned CPS building. Yeah, there is not one. Okay. If you found one, then send it to me. I'd be like, whoa, this is breaking news, everybody. There is no image. I'm just telling you, there has never been an image released of a car parked at the abandoned CPS building. Or a vehicle.
Uh-huh.
I'm not just saying that. I mean, that's why I was confused right at the beginning. Because I know that doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm. I thought she showed it. No, I thought she showed it. Maybe not. Okay.
Well, we don't know. We don't know what they did, but there was never. Yeah, I mean, we've had conversations like Zozo had. I thought maybe they sold the car. You know, I mean, that's a theory that I've had is that they want to see what the person does with a vehicle that, or let's just say they have a suspect, and they think that they parked a car there. They might say, "Well, you just want to know who the driver was," and that person goes, "Oh my God, they know that it's me," but they're watching them. And then they see what they do with that particular vehicle. Do they paint it or sell it or get rid of it in some way or something?
Yeah. So that's for fun and good. So maybe they don't have any reason to suspect this car at the abandoned CPS building. Okie dokie.
No, I mean there's a chance that the whole thing about the abandoned CPS building has nothing to do with anything. That really was just something that might have been an angle they were thinking about in 2019, and it might not have anything to do with anything. But if you believe the story where Kagan says he was waiting in a red Jeep, and then law enforcement 2 years before that told us, hey, we want to know who the driver of the vehicle parked at the abandoned CPS building was, you might say, I wonder if Kagan is the one that was driving the red Jeep, and that's the vehicle they were talking about, and maybe just prior to that, picked up Richard Allen near the Marathon gas station, parked over there because Kagan said he waited for somebody. So then maybe Richard goes over, kills, takes some photographs, whatnot on the Samsung phone, comes back to the car, hands Kagan the Samsung phone, the knife. Kagan's job was to throw the knife into the Wabash River near where he lives, take the Samsung phone, and Richard goes home with absolutely nothing on him. He just got to do the thrill of the hunt that he wanted to do.
Yeah, he was packed full of adrenaline before and after, that's obvious.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Well, then, we were all here dreadfully confused. So anyway,
That's
thanks
okay.
for unconfusing us.
Well, now we're not
Bye.
confused. Everything's good. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.
I'm here.
Okay, have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah. All right. 856.
Hey, Greg.
Hello.
How you doing?
What's going on?
I was watching a program this afternoon, the Delphi murders special, and they were interviewing Superintendent Carter. And they asked him a question about, does he think that the probable cause should be released? And I was really surprised. He said, absolutely, I believe in the probable cause. And I didn't hear that before.
I could tell that he thought that, even in that first interview. It was like, it'll be released. It'll be released. You know?
Yeah, and he did say that. And so I didn't know if you had seen that, but I watched that part of it. He said, I always believed in that being released. And so that was something new that I didn't hear him say. Now,
well, but I guess but somebody in the chat said that he actually said there's nothing in it that would hurt the case. Did he say that? See, that's
no, I didn't hear him say that.
Yeah, so I'd like to...
I didn't hear him say that.
Well, somebody send me that link then, if anybody has it.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and... it was on WT... Some station down, you know, the one, I get that. And it comes up on my tablet, and I clicked on it.
Is it like 30 minutes long? Is that
it was a special.
Is that the one that's like 30 minutes? Yeah, the 30-minute long thing.
Yeah, I believe so. It was a special, and then they interviewed Carter.
Maybe I'll load that up, and we'll just listen to the Carter part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I believe there was something else on there, Gray, about this stuff with Jason and Ron Logan and all that, but then there's a segment in there where he's questioned, Superintendent Carter's question, and he gives the answer. And about the tie-dye that sheet, because I listened to that a little bit ago, just after you were on, and you showing what was it again? What?
I'm not sure what you mean.
On the shirt, on the tie-dye shirt, on the back, the writing.
It just says unseen in that one word that we just
unseen. Well, it sure does look like it to me.
Well, I mean, it's just, to me, it's just, I think there's almost no chance. It says, there's definitely a UNS, okay? So it's like, what other, it's like, what kind of a tie-dye shirt in Delphi would have exactly the first word of one of the lines? It's, it's one in a million, okay? It doesn't, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the whole odd thing about this whole thing. Here's this girl. I'd like to know, number one, is that her bedroom? Who took
Some people
that
think
picture?
It's the parents' bedroom because it looks like, there's a mom and... I mean, I don't know how many kids have a picture of their mom and dad in their own room.
Well, I saw that picture, but I couldn't make out who it was.
Yeah.
But it looked like a man and a woman. But here's another thing. Who in the heck took that picture like that with the cat on her back and the girl with that shirt on and the writing on the back and her face being buried in the, in the
I mean, this looks like Richard and his wife right here. That's
okay. Yeah, I couldn't make it out. But that whole pose that she's doing there is just bizarre. Is so bizarre to me that it's beyond.
Well, yeah. What's weird is, the thing is I don't think she has any knowledge of what's going on. But you wonder who was directing it.
Well,
and it's like,
well, that's what I mean. Gray, you're a young girl. I'm not saying her and the wife knew. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they started to surmise. Who knows? We don't know. But do I think they were? No. But
I don't think it has anything to do with the murders. All that matters is, do they have anything to do with the murders? The answer is no. Yeah, absolutely not. So the thing is after that we could say, did they have any suspicions at some point? Or were they just kind of in denial, like, oh, there's no way he could do it. I mean, look at this. He's so funny. He does this and that. But they might have had suspicions over the years. We don't really know, and that's just
we don't. No, we don't.
They're not the killers, and they have nothing to do with the killing, so people shouldn't go after them. The reason I'm showing the pictures because it's just too creepy to me that she's wearing the same leggings, very similar. The tie-dye shirt, and it's actually one of the Abby and Libby tie-dye shirts that were only given out early on, and it's taken on a bed where she's got her head down, and it's almost like I don't want to see your face kind of thing. It's weird.
Right. Well, Ray, let me ask you this question. Okay, maybe you can answer for me, because I don't have an answer. After that picture was taken, even a couple of years after, everybody and their grandmother from Delphi, Indiana to UK and and Australia knows about this case. So, why in the world would anybody even want to take a picture like that between on the bridge and then her on the bed with her head down in that tie-dye shirt?
Well, somebody said maybe the cat was sleeping, and maybe she was like, hey, make it look like you're sleeping too, like you were sleeping. I mean, that could be something. I don't know.
But why would they do that? Everybody and their grandmother knows about the shirts that were made for Libby and Abby. Your show, everybody could get them on different YouTube channels. We could all get a bracelet. So why are you going to have a picture of your daughter like that on the bed and on the... Why? Can you answer me that, Greg?
Well, I don't have... well, that's why I showed it, because it's... for me, it's weird.
Gray, it's bizarre as hell, as you can get. It is bizarre. And I'll tell you what, if I was from Delphi, there's no way in hell that I might take a picture of her standing up, showing the shirt, like, hey, we're in support of Libby and Abby, who were brutally murdered, but not like that. That is too weird, bizarre, creepy, whatever adjective you want to put to it. That's what it is. That's all I have to say. But I think you pointed something out really good with the back of that. And clickbait, no, you're definitely not clickbait.
Yeah, well, no, it's 100% not clickbait, because it literally is exactly what was in the video. I mean, it's not like I made something up, No,
no, you don't make anything up.
Like if somebody has poor reading comprehension, I apologize, but I can't really help you on that.
I get it, and like maybe I'm not making myself, maybe I'm not explaining it right. People say maybe she was sleeping. The point is, it's too creepy to start with. You got a blonde-haired girl, Libby's body type, with the tie-dye shirt, the whole 9 yards. It's creepy.
And why it's creepy no matter how you look at it. Could have just been, like, we don't know what the origins of, maybe she went and bought it herself, because probably a lot of people in Delphi have it, but then you wonder, like, how the picture itself came about. But we already gone over all that, so I got
so that's my point. Go take it out in the yard, standing on the step, but not a pose like that. Okay, well, I don't want to get fired up.
Okay, all right. Have a good one.
Bye, Greg.
See you. Bye-bye. Yeah. Lillian. Yeah, I mean, the thing is... like if anybody else took that picture, I'm trying to picture it like if that was on somebody else's page just randomly, would I give a damn? And probably not, like probably not. But when you consider that Richard Allen lives there, and the whole situation, it just makes it mean something more. It could mean absolutely nothing. That's what I'm saying. But it was just creepy enough where it's like, hey, come on, we got it. This is weird, okay? Because that's not just some random tie-dye shirt. That is one of the early Abby and Libby tie-dye shirts that she's wearing on a bed, looking down, and not even looking at the camera, wearing almost identical clothing that Libby was wearing that day. But maybe that's what she wore, I don't know. I really can't answer that question. I just wanted to point it out that it is crazy that is in that picture, okay? All right, hold on one second. I'll be back in about 20 seconds. Maybe 40.
Ugh.
All right, 507. Hello?
507? I'm 480.
Oh, 480. Sorry, that was the other one that was there. Yeah, what's going on? Sorry.
Okay. Hi, Gray. How are you? Hi, freaks. This is Les from Scottsdale.
Yeah?
Okay. I'm definitely following the line that they are connected because, in addition to the timing, the multiple coincidences, and Jesus, the T-shirt thing that just kind of nails it. Plus, I don't understand why Carter, I've heard referred to it as, complicated and fascinating, and I don't see why he would refer to it as that if it was the typical lone wolf scenario. So,
I don't think it's lone wolf or anything.
Well, the typical male single predator.
Right.
I don't know why he would call it that. If it was, I feel like.
Well,
there
he didn't call it that, did he?
I thought I heard him calling it complicated and fascinating.
No, but he never said it was a lone wolf.
Oh no! I meant I don't know why he would refer to a lone wolf.
Well, he didn't. I know, but he didn't. So you don't need to. He never said that.
Oh no! Anyhow, I'm sorry. I'm nervous. I'm totally. I had to make notes and everything because you're like a star to me. I really respect and admire you so much, and I would be mortified if I was one of those irritating people like last night. Anyhow, so that Irish feller Navalis had a theory about how, because I'm kind of obsessed right now about how they initially found each other. Yeah. How does that conversation start?
Yeah. I just think it was part of the however, I don't know, none of us really know exactly how all of these pedophile predator types meet behind the scenes that can be part of a network of. I mean, they just arrested 20 people in Indiana a couple days ago, part of a ring. It was a little bit south of Indianapolis area, a different county. But, how do these people all get together? How do they know each other and be part of a Dropbox? Yeah.
But he came up with something I thought was kind of interesting. They were both, using fake accounts posing as females, and they kind of sussed each other out. And
I know, but I don't like theories that are just completely invented based off of nothing. Okay, so I don't want to go through. I don't want to go through somebody else's theory that really is completely, just two guys that were posting and they said, oh yeah, and then they. I mean, come on, we have no idea, all right? So.
Yeah, you are right, but it just has been driving me crazy, wrecking my brain. How does that conversation start? You don't just,
Well, we don't know. I mean, maybe Tony or some knew him from a long time ago. We don't know.
That's something I thought of as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I just felt that was because I just don't know how you would be like, hi, I like playing pool and doing gross things.
I mean, maybe there's dark web places that people go for this. And,
yeah, that's another thing I thought of too. But it just seems like this piece, I'm just dying to know. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to waste your time or anybody else's.
Well, it's not wasting time. I just don't want to. I don't want to go through some. I have theories that in every single part that I put into it, it's based on pieces of information that we have. Okay, but when somebody just has a theory yay, maybe they met some, it doesn't have any value. Okay, you have to have. I think what has value is when you, if you got an expert on and they told you, hey, this is how they normally meet in places like this, and then you kind of work on that, but just kind of randomly saying that people were part of, they were both guys pretending to be girls, and then they met and went, wait, you're a guy too, and let's. I mean, come on. I don't know.
I have seen that happen before on
God, it was some stupid show where they were, trying predator catching, fishing on the, cops doing it, and they ran into another man that was, trying to be a young woman and young teenager, and it was just a thought. But I was also like, Kagan seemed like the whole searching for the gas station and stuff. It's just, there's just too many coincidences. But he seems so like lazy, and could you imagine him maybe being like a possible lookout? Because how do you go?
Well, what I said yesterday was that maybe he's a driver. Allegedly, Tony could be the mastermind, and somebody like Richard Allen could be the actual, the doer, the guy that does the things.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I just the thought of him like actually, maybe they didn't even tell him what they were actually going to do, and then he gets all panicky and starts doing those searches because he's like murders in Delphi, and I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go because I'm being annoying probably. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people what they do is they go, what can I do for a video today? Oh, yeah, I'll come up with a theory based on nothing, but it's sensationalistic and sounds interesting. See, like Alifair thinks, I think it's a good point that they made each other. What do you mean? Maybe they all meet that way. It just doesn't mean anything. It doesn't help anything. We're not going to figure out anything. We're not going to get to know how they met. We're not going to get to know any of that stuff. You can come up with all kinds of theories. You could sit there and say, you know what I think? You know what I really think? I think that one time, I really believe this. I think that Richard Allen went to a McDonald's one time, and when he was going through there, he looked across the way, and there was Tony Klein, and they sat down and started. He goes, "You mind if I sit here?" Because it was kind of crowded. And they sat there and talked for a while, and they realized that they had similar interests, and we could do that. We could sit there and have that kind of conversation all day long, and I could do a whole video on that and try to sell it to people, and people would go ooh, and it's like, I hope people would just hit it and go, I'm never watching another video again. Okay, because that kind of stuff is meaningless in true crime. Doesn't help anybody.
Right. Reel it in. Yeah. My mind goes like wanders and goes into stupid mode, and anyway.
yeah, it gets into some crazy. See, what happens is people give a speculative thought, then people build on that speculative thought, where you're in the Ancient Aliens realm, the show Ancient Aliens, where on that show Ancient Aliens, this is how it goes on that show. The person will say something like, "That rock that was found, is it possible that came from an alien spacecraft? And if it's true that rock came from the alien spacecraft and was used in that town, is it possibly the reason that it advanced their culture? And if that's true, is it why we are the way we are today?" And it started off with the weakest premise in the world, but you're at this point where you're actually discussing the advancement of civilization of a rock that had almost no chance of coming from an alien. Okay. Yeah.
That is so true. I actually heard this guy, like, they just went with the thing about, there was something he was stolen and it was buried in his yard, and they went there for that, and he was making that up, and he actually called your show, and then it was just like, oh my God, that's all it was a stupid freaking opinion. Or anyways, I did not mean to like.
No, I thought it, it's funny. I mean, is it possible they met that way? Sure. Is it likely?
Okay.
Probably not. Probably not.
It's probably not. Like,
but if it turns out to be true, boom! Somebody guessed at something that was right.
Yeah. I love your show, and I really can't wait for that affidavit. But I definitely would like to honor the family's desire for it to be sealed as long as it needs to be.
My thing is I want to honor the law, and I want it to be sealed until whatever it is that they needed it sealed for to be resolved. Then it should be released, just like every other probable cause affidavit in the history of Indiana. Okay. So
Yeah.
So-
It's for the best, but boy, it is driving me nuts. I just gotta say, I love the rap so much. I love Blue. I love Cairo and Chewbacca.
you love
I
Cairo,
really
huh?
agree.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I love the Chewbacca thing. I think it's really awesome.
Oh, you mean the Chewbacca?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah.
Cairo seems like a nice gentleman, though. Anyways,
He's cool, except
and
he's got his blue shoes. Those are, he's got these blue, sky blue Nike sneakers with paisley brown shirt and jeans. And you look
I'm
at that.
starting to respect that now.
I'm just kidding. He's just funny. He's a cool dude.
He is entertaining,
Yeah.
and I wish people that bring up Ron Logan would explode and fall off the face of the earth. That's all.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you for calling in. I appreciate your support. Calling again sometime.
For taking my call. Have a good night.
All right. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Well, guess what, everybody? I have to throw myself in jail because Alifair M put me in there. I saw it up above. There it is again. So mean to Alifair M. Okay. So I am now going to be stuck in the prison right now. I am stuck. All right. But look at that on the screen right there. We only have another $6,260 to get to the 50 that was our goal. Isn't that amazing? So we're stuck in here, and the show will not go on. Darn it. Man, that's bad. No, he didn't, Chris. That's an error. Sorry about that. I looked it up. There's another person with a name like, it's similar to Richard Allen, but that's his middle name. It's wrong. It's incorrect. He never lived in Peru. At least I can't find a legitimate source where he literally lived there. Oh my God, Lori Fisher said no bail. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. I'm going to make a theory show where I just invent stuff for you guys. It's going to be great. You guys will love it. Well, I was in prison because Alifair M said I was so mean, and that's when I get thrown into prison. Right now we're -3.
No bail.
Boy, you guys want to keep me in here tonight, don't you? Yep, and that's enough to maybe give the warden look the other way type of thing, because we're still in here. We are still in here. Oh, Mary Anderson, thank you very much. All right. I'm trying to get it so that we can actually have a spin tonight.
Bail payment.
What's all the... Why is that showing up like that? Is it doubled up again? Hold on a second. Oh, God. Yeah, I've got a secondary... okay, I fixed it. There was 2 Streamlabs things open up.
So broke.
Look at that crap right there. Tiny bubbles in the wine. All right, there we go. Thank you. LMM and Annie T. All right, here we go. Let's get out of here. All right. Where is the 507? You're on. 507, you're on. Thanks for getting me out of jail, everybody. All right, what do you got? You're on. Thanks for getting me out of jail, everybody.
Okay, that would be me.
You got to turn off the
have
audio
to
in the
mute.
background. Yeah.
It's off. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, it's Diane Tosh Ferrazano.
Oh,
that
wow.
long name.
One of the other Toshas. Yeah.
Yeah. No. There's only room for one Tosh in this chat.
Yeah, there's a Tosh and then a Tosh Verrazano. That's pretty crazy.
Exactly. I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, I haven't talked to you since the snow crashed into your fence and knocked it down.
Oh yeah, that was a big
But,
tree that knocked off a branch. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
So we're supposed to get snow here in Minnesota, and that's the season starting again, right? Just keeps going.
You know
round
what's
and
weirder
round.
is when you both are the winners that one time. In a
Yeah.
row. Like, what are the
I
odds
know.
of that? Like, that's like one in a... It's
Yeah,
just
and I was
ridiculous.
in the kitchen doing something. I was washing some dishes, and I hear, like, Diane Tosh Arizona. I was like, wait, what?
And then
Like,
Tosh
what did
won the next spin, so it's like... I
That's
don't know.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
She did, didn't she? That was nuts. But now I'm like totally zoning out because I'm waiting, and I apologize for that.
Okay.
But, well, first of all, I wanted to just quickly say, if that caller from last night with the real sultry voice ever calls back again, maybe we should ask her to sing happy birthday to you, even if it's not your birthday, okay?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was
Happy
wondering.
birthday, Mr.
I mean, that was just
Yeah.
like Marilyn Monroe. I mean, that was...
I know. I'm like, what is this? Like 1-800, like try to seduce Grant Hughes night or something?
I mean, it was pretty sexy sounding. Like there's people out there going, keep her on the phone a little.
Yeah,
I mean, it was weird, man. It was just weird.
It was weird. But anyway, I guess what I wanted to say, well, first off, that I like 100%, more than 100% agree with your theory. Because, I've been following this, just like probably everybody here, and in other cases too. But this one especially, I think, because where my husband and son and I live in Minnesota, we live in an area that if you Google Earth where we live, when you show your Google Earth images on your channel, I'm like, oh my gosh, like Delphi looks just like the town where we raised our son for 20 years, next to Walnut Grove, Minnesota. And everybody knows Walnut Grove from the Little House on the Prairie books. Maybe not everybody, but most people do. And in these little towns, it's like, there were only about 2,000 people in the town we lived in for 20 years in southern Minnesota. And everybody knew people in the surrounding towns. It's not so far-fetched that Richard Allen and the Kleins knew each other. It's just not. Because it's like you're surrounded by farmland, cornfields, soybean fields, and then in between there's little tiny towns. And everybody knows, like, oh yeah, John Doe from over there. Yeah, we know him. I don't find it like, I don't find any weird, like, oh, they had to have met on the dark web, or they had to have met here or there, because they seek each other out anyway. We know how these people operate, but yeah, I mean, your theory is it makes so much sense, and it's pretty much totally what I've been thinking.
Yeah, and it might not be,
time.
and it might not be the reality of it, because who knows if Kagan is telling the truth about the the vehicle being parked there, or any of that stuff. But I'm using things that have been said. The Marathon gas station, Kagan saying he was parked. He didn't say where, but he said he was parked waiting for somebody. So it's also possible he was parked somewhere else, and it wasn't the abandoned CPS building, but it was somewhere else around there. And so there's all kinds of stuff like that. So, I mean,
yeah, and it's all too. There's really no coincidences. I mean, it's all right there to me, at least out in the open. Because the last time I talked to you, we were discussing how weird it was that Tony and his son were going to Las Vegas for this, and Kagan Klein was, hey, I'm like in this, marijuana distribution, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's bullshit. Come on. Like, you don't need to go out. These days, you don't need people transporting weed from Los Angeles to Vegas. That's not what they were doing. We know what they were doing. Mm-hmm. So, but I believe, like you said, this arrest came not very long after Keegan Klein was arrested. So, therefore, I mean, and now they're dropping charges for this Keegan Klein. He's obviously making deals with the prosecution. And if there is a trial, we don't even know if there's going to be a trial because this guy who was arrested and charged with both murders, he might plead. He might plead guilty. We don't know that yet, right? So, but we do want to know what happened because we want to make sure that we have justice for these two little girls. But I think he's just in that jail cell rolling over on everybody. I really do. He's going to roll over on his dad. He's going to roll over on anybody else that was involved with this. And I do believe that the probable cause is sealed because that there's a much larger group of people involved, not necessarily with killing these girls, but with distributing child pornography. It just that's what I believe.
Yeah, I mean, there's this huge ring of people, and somebody in the ring. I mean, you could count Keegan Klein, Anthony Schatz communicated with Libby on the day that they were murdered at 8 in the morning. Then, when they were missing, or they were, I think it was just when they were missing, and one of the friends that also had been communicating with the Anthony Schatz profile said, "Hey, did you hear what happened to Libby? Oh my God, what?"
Yeah,
and then said I was supposed to meet her. I was supposed to meet her, but she never showed up. So wow, that's incredible, everybody. The catfisher merely didn't get to meet with Libby because some random serial killer went in there and killed her before the catfisher got. I mean, what a bad day that was. Turned out to be all around, even before that. Like, no matter what, it was going to be the. I mean, I'm just being facetious here, but that's why the odds are so low that they're not connected.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I believe, and the fact that just happened, in an area like in broad daylight where there are other people out walking. It's a park, right? And, I've seen the sign for the entry to the park, to the trails, and it had to be planned out pretty specifically. So I don't think it was just some random person deciding to do this. I just don't believe that. And as for that T-shirt, though, that's pretty audacious. It's very audacious to.
Yeah, I mean, it either is audacious or it isn't. But here's something that's odd. I mean, why isn't that picture been removed? Like, isn't that something like, oh my God, Jesus, let's get this thing off of here? How weird. And it seems like that's one that you would be deleting off of the account, right? But maybe it could also be that she's wanting these photos to be out there because she wants to help,
That's true. We don't know. We don't know if the daughter is like,
because her account was turned. She actually turned off her account and then turned it back on again. And we thought that was odd. But what if it was like, oh, screw this. I want people to see whatever they can find out. They can find out because it makes she might have thought it made herself feel like, in a way, made herself feel guilty, like, and also feel like she's defending somebody by hiding the profile. But then she's like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to put it back out. So she's like, I'm going to put it back out because when I hit it, it appeared that I was defending this guy, right? So
yeah, true. Yeah. That's very true. I don't know. It's just because it looks like a photograph to me that, like, I've seen myself in photographs like that before. I'm like, please don't take my picture. Please don't take my picture. And I'm like holding my face down. And, the cat, you can't pose a cat. Just for real, like the cat was sleeping on her back. But it like I said, it's kind of audacious to be like, hey, oh, look, cute, the cat's sleeping on your back. Let's take a picture of it. And then they realize, like, hey, that's the T-shirt that we bought. It's just like, really, you're gonna show that? I mean, come on. But then again, he was there at the CVS, interacting with all the people of that small town. So, I mean, I don't know what kind of mind can operate like that. I just won't.
Yeah.
But we know that criminal minds they're something that fascinates us. Whether, it's sad, and I feel so sad for the family, and I can't imagine that happening in my life to my loved ones. But it is still fascinating. So I don't know. I'm just hoping that we get some answers really soon, and I hope it ramps up now. So.
Yeah, me too.
And,
I'm actually. I think it's in the best interest to show the probable cause. If there really isn't anything that's going to give away anything in terms of another person, and which would be weird if it doesn't show that, then it's odd that they did that, because it seemed like there was a really good reason they needed to keep it sealed. But if it turns out there isn't anything like that, then that's not a. It's it doesn't seem to fit anything in Indiana.
Right.
Because Indiana's never done that before. As I was talking to somebody the other day that knows, and they said that that's never happened before, ever, in Indiana. Okay, so...
Well, that's why I think it has to be very big. I mean, so I just asked my husband, so. I said, why would you... I asked my husband, I said, why would you seal a probable cause document if a prosecutor asked you? And he said it would have to be very, very exceptional circumstances. Otherwise it would be unsealed. So it has to be, something really big. If it's something that's not, because from what I understand in Indiana, constitutional law of the state of Indiana, there is a clause in there that it can be sealed for exceptional circumstances.
Yeah.
So
all right. Okay.
I have a feeling it's going to be pretty big. That's just my gut feeling.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, I gotta get the other calls, but
I know.
It was a good one.
I know.
Though.
Well, thanks.
I appreciate your call.
For taking my call.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Calling again.
Good talking to you again, and we'll talk soon. All right. You take care of yourself.
Tosh Virazana.
JJ.
Wait, what's the whole
right.
what's the whole name again? Is it Diane? Tosh? No.
That's Diane.
Yeah, Diane
but my
Tosh
last name,
Virazana. Yeah. Okay. I'm
yeah.
call
it
it.
is,
Let's see. DTF. There you go.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Have a good one.
All right. All right.
See you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Diane Tosh Virazana. Yep. 5 brain cells. 4 aren't working. Here we go.
Come on, man. What's wrong with you? Did you hear what I said?
I'm not sure what in the hell, what's her name is talking about up there. Does anybody know what the case that the wacko up above, Miss K, was talking about? Anybody at all? Any idea? I have no idea what the hell she's talking about. Anybody? Oh, I don't know what DTF means. Sorry. I don't know. I didn't know that there was another meaning for DTF. Sorry. Nobody told me that. I don't know what it means. Tell me what it means. Oh, actually, down to... I don't know what that means at all, you guys. I have no idea. Like, and I'm not in on all the little texting terms and shit. Yeah. Okay. Oh wait, is that like a transmittable disease? Oh wait. No, that's STD. Never mind. I don't even know what it means, you guys. Just tell me what it means. Somebody type it in, for God's sakes. Who cares? And then delete it. What is that even? Oh, that's what that means? Oh, oops. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Diane. We won't call you that. Okay. I didn't know. I've never heard of that in my life, though. That sounds like a ludicrous little term, but... You know what sucks is that you guys know what that means. Like, how come everybody's like, oh, wait, your friends... what, do you have somebody text you that sometimes? Hey, so-and-so, are you... Man. God, you guys are crazy. Oh, man. Wow. Okay. Let me get this one. 832, you're on.
Hi, Ray.
Hello, who's this?
This is Lisa.
Hey, Lisa, how's it going?
Good. I just have a little story that I wanted to tell, and then...
Wow, you sounded like... yeah, you know what? That's crazy. Look at the beginning of Paul Revere, Beastie Boys says, I have a little story that I got to tell. See, look at you just said that. I mean, you literally said the same thing. I have a little story that I'd like to tell. Man, that was amazing. Oh my God, unbelievable. Wow.
So, and the reason that I'm bringing the story up is because in one of your other episodes, I heard the tail end of one of them, and I don't know if it has anything to do with it or not, but it's something that happened to me and my sister when we were kids. And we grew up in a little small community beach town, excuse me, in Texas. And we had horses, and we were riding to a friend of ours' house. So we were going down the beach, but we went down our road, and about halfway down, a little Pinto comes up beside us, and there's a man in the car, and he has his hand between his legs, and he's shaking something. Well, I was probably 10, my sister was 13, and we didn't know what it was. So we kept going. We were going to a friend's house to have lunch, and it was about a mile away, but we had to go down our road to the beach, and then we rode all the way down the beach to their house. And as we were riding down the beach, that little car kept coming up on roads that were parallel to the beach where beach houses were. And I told my sister, I said, there's that guy again. I said, I think he's following us. And she said, no, I don't think he is. So anyway, we get to our friend's house and have lunch, and we're telling the mother about this. So she calls my parents, and my parents call the police. But we had tied our horses up in front of their house. So if you drove down the road, you would see our horses. And so I'm telling this is a small town, 1,000 people or less. And there was one police officer in the town.
Well, you know, what town was it? What town was this in?
Crystal Beach.
Crystal Beach, where? Like Crystal Beach?
Texas. Just
a second. And then, do you remember the name of the street, that little road that you were on?
It was on Crystal Beach Road, I believe was the name of it.
Okay, just a second. Okay, was it South Crystal Beach Road or the north side?
The beach side.
Okay, yeah, that'd be the south. That'd be the south side.
Okay.
So it sort of just ends at the beach, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then where were you on that road when you first saw this person?
Well, we were on actually Gregory Lane when we first ran into him.
Okay, what was the name of? Say that again. Let me put it.
Gregory Lane.
Okay, hold on. I'm actually showing it on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Gregory Lane. Okay, so it's way over. It's quite a bit far to the east from there. Okay, so where on Gregory Lane was it?
Back then we didn't have house numbers. It was just like third house on the left.
From the highway or from the beach? Yeah,
from the highway. It was 4th house on the left. 1, 2. Third house on the left.
Okay, and they're kind of far apart, right? The houses.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, they're on 2 lots usually.
Okay, yeah, I think I see it here.
And they're all beach houses.
And they'd have like a really small, short, stubby drive. Well, like not really driveway, but like a gravel area you could pull in, and it was on stilts.
Yeah.
Okay, right. All right. Looks like every house is on stilts. Wow, you guys are ready for hurricanes.
Yeah, it's a beach town.
Yeah. Okay, so you're right there, and then where'd you go from there?
So halfway down that road, we call it the re-break. There's little ponds on either side of the road.
I see
We were
it.
about right there.
Yeah.
And he was going really slow. You know, you're up on horses, so you look down at somebody driving by, and that's what he was doing. But we, you know, when we looked at each other, we thought it was a pink balloon because we were kids, young kids. I was probably 10. My sister was 13, I believe.
So he was doing something to himself. So after that,
Right.
how did you guys run into him way over on?
Well, we were going down the beach, and I kept seeing him following us. My sister, she said no, but I was like, I think he's following us. So once we got to our friend's house and had lunch, and we told her mother, and she called my mom, and my mom and dad called the police. Well, there was a real estate company, Swedes Real Estate, on the very end of that road. So my parents parked in that, and it was a house, but it was a real estate company, parked there and was waiting for us. So we were coming back down the road to the beach, going back home down this road. But right before we got to the beach, my parents were right there, and we said we saw his car in that same lot as my parents, and he was waiting for us there.
But you're on Crystal Beach
said,
Road, right? So you went
Yeah.
on your road. You went down to the
very
beach.
last house.
So you went to on your road. You went to the beach, and then you walked down the beach, and then walked
Rode
up.
our horses. We rode our horses
Oh, you got
down the beach.
horses, and then you rode up your horses onto Crystal Beach Road, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Huh. So what happened then?
And so we told my mom and dad, that's that guy. So that guy heard us, and he backed out real fast, and my dad backed out, and my dad chased him down the road. And then there was a police officer at the end of the road waiting for I don't know for what. But anyway, that guy took off, and my dad took off, and the police took off, and they brought him back. They arrested him and brought him back down to on the beach when we were on the way home, and said, is this him? And my sister's like, I don't know. And I said, yes, that's him. But anyway, nothing happened to us.
So you had to
The
make.
only
But
thing
it's
that-
kind of weird that they made you look at him. You know, they wouldn't do that today.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Not today, no, but he was I just remember he had dark hair, parted on the side. And when I seen that picture, I don't know if this is him or not, but that Edward Bell, you had done Edward Harold Bell, always liked to get girls in twos. And you said he had lived in Crystal Beach before, and I wondered since I seen that show of yours if that was him.
Oh, I don't even remember that one. That's wild.
You remember Edward? He murdered a bunch of women in the Houston area.
Now, what was his
Galveston,
name? What's his whole name?
Houston.
What's his name again? Say it again.
Edward, let's see. I'm on my phone, so I can't see what's going on. But let's see. Edward Harold Bell.
Bell.
Bell. And you did a show on him.
And there was a middle name again? Harold, you said?
Harold.
Huh. That's weird. I don't really see it in my. I'm sure I did a show, but I can't find the. He sounds familiar.
But when I seen that picture of him, and as soon as I heard you say that he had lived in or worked in Crystal Beach, I thought, oh my goodness. But my mom, we had to take a ferry to go shopping and to do anything. And so my mom seen him on the ferry a couple of weeks after that, and she said she got out of her car and stood right in front of him and just stared at him the whole way across. It's a 15-minute ride.
What'd you say his
And he
first
had a
name
wife,
was? What's
and
his first name again?
Let's see, Harold.
I thought that was his middle name. Is
Okay,
it Robert Bell?
Edward.
Oh,
Edward Harold Bell.
Yeah, I'll have to look for it. I don't see it in here right now, so. Oh well. Anyways, interesting.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But yeah, so I've always wondered, after I seen you had said that guy had worked or lived in Crystal Beach, I was thinking, oh my gosh, because he always went for pairs, for two girls. He murdered two girls at a time, like several.
Huh. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
And so I thought, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But anyway,
I'm glad
that was it.
I mean, it sounds like a psycho. You know, who knows if he was trying to progress with you guys during the day. I mean, he kept following you around or something, right? Like maybe he was watching.
Yeah,
you.
he was waiting for us to leave because we were alone in the beach down there. There's, you know, there's nobody on it. It's kind of desolate. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But anyway.
All right. Well.
Okay. Well, thank you, and you always do a great job. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye.
All right. Oh, thanks, Lillian. All right. Let's see. Thank you, Nancy and Lily. Yeah. And if you do PayPals, you actually get a notebook if you send 25 in or more. And then you also get their spins. You get 1.5 times the spin. And if you win, you get a mug instead of a notebook, if that's what you won. Let's see. I just looked Edward Harold Bell up, and he had jet black, longer hair. And yeah. Right, well, that's what she said. So what made you look it up after she said exactly what you just said? Yeah. So that's the guy right there. Yeah, that's who she's talking about. He looks familiar, the picture on the right, anyways. I just don't remember doing it. How can you re-find... I can put it on this screen, hold on. You could just hit the rewind button. Oh, are you on there? 781? You there?
Hello?
Yeah. Hello. What's going on?
I feel so irrelevant now after listening to that. I wanted to talk about the Delphi.
No, that's what we were actually talking about, but that was an interesting story.
Yeah, that was really interesting. So anyway, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. Yep.
So my username's M10. I come and go. But I will say I am one of the people that you can't stand because I do have my favorite cases. And so...
Yeah, we've got M22 and M10.
Yeah, I'm M10. So anyway, I'm calling from Massachusetts, but I did want to talk about...
Well, everybody has their favorite cases. I'm just saying it'd be great if people... Because here's the truth. You put a 1 in the chat if you're one of the freaks, and some of the cold cases that we've covered have been some of the most interesting cases that have ever been discussed on here. Even though we all want to, the Delphi case is big and some of the other cases are big, but we've discussed cases that are really intricate and amazingly interesting all the way through that nobody ever talks about ever on any show at any time. I mean, that's the part that sucks, but I mean, they're so interesting. Oh. Look at all the ones in the chat right now. So there you go. All right, so you're missing out. Right. You're missing out. They may have became.
I know.
They may have became your favorite. Talking about Chris Watts every single day, or Dylan Rounds.
No, I'm not an islander.
Or Dylan Rounds, or Gabby Petito, and all these things everybody talks about over and 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 over again. It just gets kind of ludicrous after a while. This is a case that's been, for 5, almost 6 years, so I think people are, just boom, it needs to be talked about because finally there's been an arrest made in one of the most talked about cases in recent memory. So, all right, go ahead.
Okay. So, anyway, I'm not one of those people, but I am kind of one of those people. So, anyway, that having been said, so the T-shirt, there is something that I was thinking about. I watched your live earlier. I know you were just going to make a video, but you decided to make it a live on the T-shirt, which was mind-blowing. And I had my husband and daughter watch it with me, and I'm the crazy true crimer in my family, and it was really nice that they did sit through it. But they were even going through the colors on the T-shirt.
Well, yeah, we did that too. We said we matched. The coloring was the same. Yeah.
Yes, but there is kind of a different perspective I have because I'm sorry, I'm so nervous and flustered, but we don't have any evidence whatsoever that R.A. ever used his wife's account. In fact, if you look at how he is with her posting things on social media and recording him, he seems really uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, except that's not really what the point is. Like it could just be that, I mean, we don't know what the reason that the picture was taken. Maybe he doesn't take. He could have even taken the picture and just posted it on her own account. Nobody knows, but that's not really the point of the whole situation. I mean, what you're explaining.
Well, how I'm feeling about it is that it shows that the wife and the daughter were oblivious. For the daughter to even have that T-shirt, it shows that she obviously went to some event, right? Mm-hmm. Very early on. And I know the wife's account was like pretty much silent in 2017, her Facebook account, for her public, for her public account. We don't know what her private account was doing. But I think it makes me almost feel even more sorry for them. And again, we don't know anything yet. So a lot of this is like conjecture and speculation. But that picture in itself, to me, it just shows how oblivious they were. And
I mean, it does seem like that. But I mean, it almost seems like somebody wanted her to pose that way. Like, why is she looking down at the ground on that?
Oh, yeah. No, I agree with you on that. I'm just saying the fact that she even owned the T-shirt and, the cat sitting on her back. There's a picture of R.A. with the cat sitting on the back. I don't know if that's the cat Onyx, but, like, they had two cats that look very similar. So there's a lot to the cat also with the speculation about the animal DNA. It's not even speculation at this point, isn't it? Just, like, people just throwing crap against to see what sticks. But, yeah, that T-shirt was a huge deal. It shows definitely, I think the family was oblivious, and it makes you feel sorry for them, and that's just where I'm at.
I mean, this could just be something where, like, the cat was sleeping, and nobody sleeps like this. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, no way, no.
So I don't know what she's doing here, in that one, but... I was looking at this picture. I don't think that's an earring there. I think it's whatever the light is back here. There's another one over there, and it just fit right onto the ear. I was looking at it the other day, like, wow, he's got an earring on. But anyways.
Oh, I did see that one with the. It looks like he has his ears pierced.
Except there's like these little things on a tree in the background that just happen to be right next to his ear. So it looked like that. Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there, and seeing you've had some other, I'm grouping myself in with them, some other crazy callers, I do wonder one thing that I wanted to also run up the flagpole and see if there's any salutes. That's all right.
What was that? What about the flagpole? What?
I said I do have, there's been some kind of zany callers the past 2 days, and I do have one thing I wanted to kind of put out there and see what you thought.
Okay.
That's all right?
Okay.
Okay. So remember this second sketch they released, and it was actually the first sketch, right? And part of me wonders, there's some people that say that the first sketch is based on Libby's friend's description of who she was talking to online. Have you heard any of this, or am I just listening to crazy people?
Well, word it again, because I mean, I've heard so many different crazy things. If you're watching any of the channels like Something to Say or True Crime Design, you're watching the wrong shit. They're all absolute crazy people. Okay, so.
No, I don't know any of those channels, but I'm just saying, so some people say that the first sketch, which was the second one released, was based on Libby's friend's description.
Yeah, I mean, so there's a witness out there that saw the younger looking picture is the that's a witness. The first one is done based off the video. The first one released was based off the video. The second one released, which was the first one made, was from a witness.
All right, then that throws out my theory, because I was kind of like, I was thinking for a minute, I was like, wait, did somebody try to explain that, like, handsome young dude on the Anthony Schatz account? That's why, like, if you look at that guy, it's like, wow, that's a really good-looking younger guy. So, anyway, that's all. Thanks, Greg. Thanks for tolerating me.
Well, that wasn't anything. I mean, I've heard that a lot. I mean, that's just a normal question. I mean, people, when you call in, just, have something, like you're doing, just something interesting to talk about or something. I mean, when people call in and they just want to battle over something that doesn't have anything to do with anything. Like we have arguments like over, well, Gray, the killer kid came from the southeast side and maybe was waiting over there the whole day. Well, it just doesn't, and then passed the girls, then turned around and came back. It just sounds to me totally ludicrous, but you can spend hours and hours and hours and hours talking about it. That's the thing, and it's just, I like having conversations that sort of get you somewhere or make you think about something a little differently, that kind of thing. So
yeah, sure. All right,
so
I hear your phone blowing up, so I'll let you go, and I appreciate you taking my call.
Well, you're the one that got the people to call in, so good job.
All right, thanks, Greg. Good night.
Well, I'm glad that your family was watching the video with you. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
There might not be anything to the image. It's just, you can't not mention the fact that there's a girl that has a similar body type to Libby, the daughter of the person arrested for the murders, who's wearing a Libby and Abby shirt and the same type of clothing in the same house on a bed, and it's just weird. Okay, so does that have a connection some way, in some shape or form, something like that? I don't know.
I think one is kind of a coincidence, like in a weird way, it's a coincidence. The T-shirt, her wearing the T-shirt.
Yeah.
But I will say that I mean, it's so dark to even think of that. Yes, Liberty did look a lot like his daughter. I mean, it's super dark, and we'll see what happens when they release any information to us.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get answers.
Yeah.
We'll get answers then.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling in.
All right.
M10.
All right, thanks,
M10.
Ray.
M10. All right, thanks. Have a good one.
All right, good night. Bye-bye.
317, you're on. Hello.
You can hear me okay. I don't know if I had to hit a button for unmute or not. I'm sorry. Okay. So, I'm very nervous, by the way.
Yep.
It's hold on, something's coming through the screen here. It's your voice. Okay, it was a warning. Okay. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, you're already on the show. People are listening to you already. You got to turn down the audio in the background.
I'm very nervous.
You got to turn down the audio in the background. Yeah.
I turned it off. So I'm very nervous.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I almost sent you my own probable cause affidavit from a federal case. And I was going to send you a picture of my ID, and I'm like, I'll just call in and see if he still wants it, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what?
I don't know if this, I mean...
Wait, what do you have?
Not...
You got to turn down the audio in the background.
Federal...
Can you turn down the audio in the background,
I don't have
please?
any background.
Well, it has to be, because I keep hearing myself. You got to just use your
I'm
phone
sorry,
like a phone,
I have no background right now.
Huh, weird. Maybe it's like taking
That is weird.
Maybe my voice is so loud and carries so well that it goes into the room and then comes back through your mic. Anyways, what is it that you have?
So before I called in, I almost sent you the federal case I'm dealing with, because it's like tell your own crime story.
Oh,
and then I decided not to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Well, that was more last night, but yeah.
But if you want it, after I tell you what my crime story per se is, after I will.
Okay, yeah.
So, since 2020, and this happened to me when I was 15, 16 years old. I'm 30. I didn't find out about it until I was in my late 20s. And it doesn't have to do with Delphi per se, but the perpetrator, Michael Howerton. Now, that name I can say. You know, it makes me wonder, and I'm very nervous, by the way, so I'm sorry.
That's all right.
So, you know, like when you're a kid, you go to like friends' houses and stuff, right? And, you know, like parents, they let you spend the night at friends' houses, whatever. We never knew, basically, long story short, till we were in our late 20s, till the feds caught him. He was recording us in the bathrooms, everything else. It gets worse than that.
Well, hold on, I just want to say something.
He was going...
I want to say something really quick. You know, what's weird is I changed everything in the... So you're right, it does say in the description, but I had changed everything. And this happens sometimes, I don't know what the deal is, but the changes that I put in, because you just use the previous show, I don't know if people know that, but like you use the previous show to make another live stream. And then you change everything and you save it. But there's been a handful of times where it doesn't actually take what you saved, so it shows the same stuff that you had on the night before. Like right now, it says call in your true crime story, and that's definitely not what I put originally, but I guess it's there. So I just want everybody to know. So
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, because you're not doing anything wrong, but I was kind of wondering what people were talking about. So go ahead. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to let you know what was going on.
No, it's okay. That's just what it popped up. So I was like, I'm going to do it. Okay. Not really do with Delphi, but it just, you know, it makes you wonder. Long story short, you know, when we were teenagers, he was recording us. So, like, we have to go to federal court. We went in federal court 2020. The case ain't over yet. His name is Michael J. Howerton, Indiana. That name I can say. You know, when you go to federal court, even though he took a plea for our case, federal court, a plea hearing is almost like a state trial. And it was things like he was watching and buying certain things, and I can send you all this. He had this thing where little girls, he was watching them be slaughtered and stuff like that. I'm not saying they were the Delphi girls. I'm just saying in general. I guess long story short, he was doing it on things like Messenger. That was brought up in the federal court plea hearing. Things like Zoom.
What do you mean, like he would look at snuff films?
Yes. But we didn't know that. So, like, when we were approached...
By
you know,
who?
basically, I literally had a federal detective knock on my door.
Approached by who? The detectives?
Yes.
Okay. And why'd they approach you?
Because when they were able to recognize one of his nieces in the video, or maybe she came forward, I'm not sure, when she had pinpointed all the underage girls, which I would have been one of them at the time. And I'm 30 now, so at that time, it's weird. Like, man, like you're 25 years old, and you're being brought, you know, like on the west side at the detective place, and you're being asked to identify yourself, right?
No, have you ever met this person before?
Michael? Oh, yes. I in my teenage years, absolutely, yes. My parents trusted me.
I mean, but did he do anything with you that you felt was weird or anything?
Looking back, they were the kind of people, I didn't know that anything was being recorded at the time. They just said that they were nudists. They would go to Roselawn, Indiana, and they had their front windows tinted where you could see out but not see in. And oddly enough, if anybody's listening is from Indiana, oddly enough, there's a lot of nudists colonies, I guess.
Well, maybe you could send me the
Like
send me
Rose
like
Farm?
the PDF file, and then maybe I can look at the PDF and then you know, I mean, well, finish the part of the story that you want to tell, and then just send me the PDF file.
Yeah, just I guess just basically long story short, you know, during the first part, which was January, I think it was January 8th, 2020, I think, where I had to go to the federal courthouse, speak my piece, even in a federal court hearing. It's nothing like state. You kind of still have to testify during the plea. Believe it or not, I found out Skype, and the files I had went all the way back to like 2014. Skype is a big P ring, I guess, and because it was a, you know, like a plea, you know, there was no video shown, but all the detectives testified, whatever, and there were things where Laura Smith, one of the, you know, the internet crime unit lady, some of the things were so bad. I guess I don't really know what my point is here, just that kind of, you know, you hear this stuff and you're like, oh, well, that doesn't exist. You don't believe it, I guess.
Yeah, well, I think that's something that might be happening in the I mean, people pay money to watch those things. So,
and I would have never believed it until I was sitting there in that courtroom, and he got 17 years. The judge said, if it wasn't for your age and your health, I'd give you more, but you're not going to make it through the next 17 years. We thought he would take a plea on the next case. He's not. So back in court we go.
Yeah. All right, well, send me the PDF file so I can check it out, and then maybe we'll have you come back on and we can go over it. People don't really know.
Okay, but
so
I'm going to send you like a copy of my ID, like on photo. Just please don't put that on the screen. I don't think you would.
You don't need to put a picture of your ID or anything. Just send me the PDF file.
Okay.
You don't have to send me your ID.
I'm going to do that right now.
You don't have to send me your ID or anything.
I just want you to know that I'm not lying, like I am who I am. So.
Well, I wouldn't. I wouldn't think that you were lying or anything like that. But.
All right. Well, thank you.
Well, thanks for calling in, and I'm gonna go check it out, and then maybe we'll correspond, and you can come back on after we read it and kind of go over it. Maybe I can do my newspapers.com, or it's kind of a recent deal though, right? So we can go over that. And...
No, he was actually arrested in 2017. They just didn't knock on my door because at that time he was 17. Only arrested on state. Yeah. It was Marion County, Indiana. It wasn't until they found videotapes going all the way back, like when they had VHS in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That they looked more into it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take a look at it, but I appreciate you sending that to me, and I'll go over it. Sounds interesting.
All right. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for calling.
Have a good night. I'm going to send that right now.
Okay. Have a good one. Bye-bye. All
right. Thank you.
That's crazy. Now, it's not, well, he's already been sentenced, but it'd be interesting to see, you know, because it kind of gives you an idea. These people are sick people. I mean, let me ask you, how many people out of the CSAM arena, how many do you think are actually into the seeing somebody get murdered? I mean, I think that's a smaller, way smaller subset of that group. So, man, that takes a special kind of psycho in there. Right. So anyways, you guys, we are in one of those crazy lulls that we seem to always get in here. This on this show, like I always say, we completely rely on the super chats and donations and whatnot from all the viewers out there and channel memberships, and that's what we do. But it's weird how sometimes whenever there's callers, it just turns into, so it's almost like I don't want to do calling anymore. You know, like it makes me not want to do call-in shows because of the lull. It just goes like that. And I don't know what it is. It's reading and call-in shows or have the same effect on the viewers. Why it's like that, I don't know. All right, here we go. 601.
Hey, Gray. How are you?
Pretty good. Who's this?
This is Crash Watson.
Crash Watson. All right.
Crash Watson, yeah, Crash.
Yeah, Crash.
I just wanted to say thank you for everything you do and being the voice of reason, and tell you thank you for everything that you do, and thank you very much.
Well, thanks for saying that. I'll send a check later.
Thank you. Hey, also, let me ask you one other thing. If I want to ask you to cover a case for a person that's missing in my area, how is the best way for me to request that?
You mean me to cover it? Yeah, you just send me an email to, well, it's in the description of all my videos. Plus, do you want to write it down or?
Yeah, I had sent you something before, and I don't know if maybe it was just something you couldn't cover, or
yeah, I don't cover every
there
case
was
that
enough
people send
information.
me, or like if you send me something, sometimes I look it up, and if there's virtually nothing on it, I don't. It's hard to just say, hey, so and so, there's a Jim Smith missing. Everybody, keep a lookout. I don't know anything about him. Don't know what he looks like. Don't know what his, but so it's hard to do.
Well, what's that? What's the best email?
It's GRAY. My last name is Hughes, but it's a phonetic spelling of Hughes, HUZE, and then the number 2. So it's GRAYHUZE2@gmail.com. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, thank you very much, and I listen to you every night, and thank you so much for what you do.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad that there's people out there that are, like watching the show. I get so much hate. Like almost every show, there's literally 10 people in the comments that just, Gray, you're so mean to everybody. Go. And it's like, well, yeah, but you know what? Guess what? You're the type I don't want watching, because you're the crybaby whiner type. I just.
And I think also whenever all that stuff happened with the Kylie Rodney case, there was so much drama and people lying about stuff, and a lot of people were getting blamed for stuff that wasn't even true.
Not here.
And
not here on this one.
Yeah, and you were one of the very few that was telling it like it was and being reasonable, because I believe people's lives probably got ruined over that. Young people.
Let me ask you this: when you say very few, isn't the truth the only one? I mean, I've watched everybody, and they all kind of push some kind of an angle of some sort. When in reality, it's just she. You could see the car go off the peninsula into the water, wiped out about 1,000 theories. But even after wiping out the theories, everybody kept running with it. Like it's another thing,
well,
so.
And even, they were trying to say that she was seen the next day, and even brought a witness out saying that they saw her the next day. And that's not even possible. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
But I mean, they brought false witnesses forward and tried to blame a certain kid for it.
Well, they tried to blame tons of kids.
People believed it.
There was one channel out there that just kept playing, showing all the friends of Kylie Rodney over and over and over again, and it's like for 6 weeks straight trying to go after every single friend, and it turns out none of it was even legitimate at all. And then they switched right over to the Delphi case right after that, because they, it's just whatever's big.
But like fools. Yeah, well, I mean, they could have, there's so many crazy people in this world. Somebody could have went after one of those people.
Well, people do that based on these idiots that
and I feel
make
like
videos.
I feel like that I feel like the people that they blamed, falsely accused, should sue them for slander, because they've tainted their names.
Well, I think that like that case, but especially Delphi case there's the family members have absolute ironclad lawsuits that they could just win in a second against literally probably I'd say it's 6 or 7 YouTubers. that went after them every single day about the most ludicrous things, trying to accuse them. And the saddest part is they have a bunch of even dumber people watching who would go, ooh, oh, I knew it, man. These people are, and you never know, man. You get to the right lunatic, and that kind of slander leads to a psycho doing something,
Well, and then also, when you bring so much attention to a case like that, and you build a narrative, and one person looks bad, and you're putting all the blame on one person instead of looking at the whole picture. When it gets time to go to court, you're going to have a jury that's very biased to one side and believing that one person did something they probably didn't do. And then you're not going to have a fair court date. They're not going to be able to be representative.
Except it's so easy for them. It's so easy, though, because everything that they say is completely made up out of thin air. There's no basis of anything, like especially on that Zav channel. She was putting out so much garbage every single day, accusing people. And she goes, I never accused anybody. We just theorized. Well, here's the thing. When you talk like this, oh, look at the way that guy's looking at her. Oh, my God. Yeah, I don't know, you guys. There's something here. That's accusing somebody. I don't give a shit how you try to spin it out or whatever. She did it every single night to every single friend or person that even knew Kylie Rodney. Some kids even had to go prove that they're innocent to them by showing how they got the paint fixed on their car and they did this and that and the other. Why are they even having to spend a second of their time? And then in the Delphi case, it's just accusation after accusation after accusation, completely false stuff. A lot of
people have ruined.
Yeah, I mean, it's just garbage. Like, why should Kelsey and Becky and Mike have to deal with so many trash, hateful people when they've just lost one of their, family members to a psycho killer? I mean, don't they have enough to worry about? Just crazy.
Well, they can't even grieve over the loss of their baby because they're having to defend themselves. These people are exploiting these cases for their own self-gain.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It needs to be gotten under control.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is like this. If you have a YouTube monetized channel and you cover true crime in an honest, rational way that doesn't interfere with, and you start accusing, I don't know how to explain it, but you just kind of know it when you see it, right? I don't mind. I mean, there's, HLN, IDTV, all those channels, the TV channels, they all have ad revenue and they make money and everything. And it doesn't bother me when people make money. I don't like when people make money when they put out false, sensationalistic information. That bothers me.
Exactly.
Okay? And there's a huge difference, So,
well,
pretty obvious.
I know this. Whenever I want to know something that's factual, which is all the time, I always come to your channel and listen to what you say. And I know 9 times out of 10, what you're saying is going to be the truth and is the truth.
Yeah, sometimes we're not always right about what's going on, but it's never a crazy sensationalistic theory. It's
exactly.
Just, like, this is what I'm seeing, like in that lady, something Bell, when she was murdered, she was like 70-something years old. I thought it was probably, maybe something to do with insurance, like the estate, like, she was married to somebody else later in life, and maybe the family members wanted to, something may have happened to get her out of the way because she was living so long, But it turns out it was just some random psycho, like there was a random psycho, well, like she's not going to die and the kids aren't going to get there because she was like, they said the youngest 80-year-old they've ever seen, people would say. Yeah, Wilma Ball. Yeah, not Bill. Wilma Ball. And,
exactly.
But it turns out it was a neighbor across the street, some like a 30-year-old person that went over there, broke in and like sexually assaulted her and killed her. It's like that just sort of was just such a crazy. That's one of those outlier type cases. So there you can't always be right, but at least you can always try to be rational and work through the cases with the facts given. So there you go.
Yeah, this world has gotten out of hand, but really, I mean, it's the same as it's always been. It's just that everything is so advertised now, being on social media. But anyway, I just got off of work and was wanting to call you and tell you thank you so much for everything you do, and your heart
is golden, and
Well, thank
I
you.
think you're wonderful.
I appreciate it.
And
Well, you guys are
you take
awesome
care of
too, I
yourself.
gotta tell you. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you for the nice call. And the thing is it's the freaks that allow me to be generous too, right? Like the thing is like if you guys don't support the channel, I'll still try to give as much as I can, but it isn't going to be the crazy numbers that we do every single month, all right? And for 8765309, Ron Pexa! All right? Okay. You know what's funny about Ron Pexa? He's probably out there, and every once in a while somebody goes, they said your name again. He's like, why? Because he had nothing to do with anything. You know? Oh, yeah, remember? That was just the defense trying to throw people off. That was funny. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is true. Like, a lot of times people think I'm mean because they come in here and, I'm doing 4-hour shows every single day. And you get to see me every single day. So, warts and all. I got neck surgery, I'm on here. My back's hurting, I'm on here. I'm on here no matter what. So, maybe some days I'm just not in as good a mood. And don't have as much tolerance. Yeah, I did a colonoscopy prep in here one time. I don't think that was the best night ever, Marty, but at least I was in here drinking the drinks with all you guys. I'll probably do it in 5 years again. And that's right, I had the COVID the vaccinations, and the whole time I would be on here. I'm not sure I'm getting this third booster though, so not sure what's going to go on with that. Yeah, some people like it that, I don't just I don't tolerate garbage on here. Well, what makes you think it's garbage, Great G? Because it just is, when you listen to it, But who gives you the right? Well, because it's my show. You know how that works? It's weird. But anyways, let me get the, 504, you're on.
Yeah, hey, Gray. It's Richard Canick, the mechanic.
Oh, hey, it's Richard Canick. No, it's actually Richard the Mechanic Canick. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
You corrected me. That's right.
Yeah, what's going on?
Doing? Oh, not much. You taking questions about the Delphi case tonight, I guess?
Yep.
Okay. I just had a couple for you. If it's the knife, let's say, that they found in the river, Wabash River, what would they be looking for on that? I mean, would DNA still be...
No.
Since it was in the water that long?
I think they were mainly just looking for it to see if Kagan was telling the truth. And then it's like, and then they then tie back that brand of a knife maybe to a purchase. Because he wasn't expecting anybody to find the knife. I mean, hell, it's 40 miles from his home, thrown into the Wabash River. But then you pull the knife out at some point, and then it's actually a knife that he owned at some point. That'd be pretty bad. But the weird part is it would be almost startling if none of this stuff is related to Richard Allen. But it just feels like it almost has to be, but it doesn't have to be. It really, I absolutely believe, not when I say believe, I feel really convinced in my mind that Richard Allen is related to Kagan Klein and the Anthony Schatz profile and all that stuff. But is it possible that he's not? Sure. A lot of things are possible, but when you put everything together, it just seems like, man, I don't know. How is it possible? I always say that, the same line. How is it possible that a catfishing account who says, wow, I was supposed to meet Libby today, but she never showed up, only didn't get to meet Libby because some other completely random killer killed her on the same day? If you can explain to me, now I don't know where the odds person is up there again, but don't you find that to be tremendously low odds of something like that happening?
Yeah, when you outlined it that way before, I said, man, that's spot on. And I'm in full agreement with that. And I think that's the way it'll be borne out, to be honest. I really do. But, you know, the timeline, too, with after the search is conducted and then the deal making, like you said the other night, you know, it all fits. So I'd be really shocked, not surprised, but shocked if that's not the case.
Yeah, it'd be absolutely crazy.
Now, I had another crazy question for you, though. On
Okay,
the reward, the reward, the way, I guess the way the reward is worded is that if it's a tip leads to the conviction or the arrest and conviction, then it's paid out. But it seems to me like law enforcement developed this case from interviewing Kagan, right? I mean, he wouldn't have any. Let's say if he rats out.
Yeah, Kagan doesn't get. He's not. Kagan can't win the reward. There's no way.
No.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's what I was.
Although, what if they said, "Hey, listen, I tell you what, you'll be eligible for the reward." Oh man, you know.
Yeah, right.
But I tell you what, how outrage. Let me ask you something. What would the outrage meter be if somehow Kagan Klein got $350,000 because he gets the reward for turning in another psycho and he gets to go live happily and buy houses? I mean, forget it. Man, there's no way in hell. Wow. Jesus.
They have to bring in the U.S. Marines and the National Guard.
Oh, yeah. People would follow him around. It just wouldn't work. It wouldn't work for him at all. But, man, could you imagine? Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that ain't going to happen. And then, also, are they seeking the death penalty on this, or no?
I don't know if they've said yet if that's what they're doing, because, I mean, you always want to, you might say you're going to do the death penalty, but again, in his case, maybe you want to give him life without parole, but have him help out getting the other people involved. Because you can't give the killer of Abby and Libby anything less than either life without parole or the death penalty. Okay, there's no, that's it. Okay, there isn't going to be, well, it's for, you were just, kind of in a bad mood that day. No, it's you're a psycho, a wacko killer. I think, what was the name of that? Psycho whack job killer. What did we have that? POC. There we go. PAWK we had for the name. It was Psycho and Whack Job Killer. Anyways. What else you got?
No, that's basically it. I was just had those questions, but also like on what was found in the river, if something to do with a hard drive. Somebody talking about that of being a possibility also. I don't know. Does that make any? It
doesn't make sense. See, the hard drive theory is where they're trying to say that Kagan. I mean, I guess it could be, but a lot of people think that they were searching the Wabash River for Kagan's case. Does that make sense to anybody? I mean, it doesn't sound rational at all. Why would Kagan, on just his own case, want to help them get more charges on himself? Hey, everybody, go look in the Wabash River and find the hard drive that then implicates me into more crimes. To me, it makes more sense that, I mean, it could be a hard drive related to the case that he threw in there at some point, the Delphi case, but not his own case. So I guess there could be something like that. I don't know. Just feels like it's more like a weapon to me.
Yeah, I think so too.
But we might not know a damn thing. Like this whole thing that we're saying right here, I'm basing it on information that we've got, but it could turn out later that it's just all something totally different. That's what's weird. Because there's always a curveball. In this case, it's not like Debbie Collier or anything, but in terms of curveballs, This is just one that has given us so little information over the years.
Right.
I mean, still,
I know.
you know.
Well, they're
yeah,
going to have the preliminary hearing on, what, the 22nd of this month? So everything will come out then.
Well, hopefully around that time is when the probable cause document would be released, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. They'll probably release it at that hearing. That's the probable cause hearing, I thought. But,
right.
Anyway. Oh, that was about it. I was,
well, how you doing, by the way?
Oh, not too bad.
Yeah?
I had a car accident last year, and just still kind of my back and neck.
Jesus.
Ran a red. I mean, yeah, just one thing after another.
But you're still you're like the Energizer bunny, man. You just keep on going.
Yeah, you just have to keep. There's no other alternative, is there, Gray?
No.
Putting up with these jerks on the calling in, all this stuff. You just gotta let it kind of, you know.
Yeah. People who don't like me are the ones that go. They're looking for the way a conversation goes and always look in the favor of the other person calling. But when you actually go back and listen to it, like I listened to a lot of these calls when I after the show, the ones that I felt like, God, man, that was a shitty call. And I listened to them again, and it's like, jeez, now I remember why I was feeling the way I feel. After I listen to it again, I feel exactly the same, you know. So.
Well, look at it like a friend of mine says. You know, when you're getting all this flack, you know you're over the target. That means you're doing a good job, and you know that. Just look at it that way too. That these people are just jealous, and they're just, you know, pissed off, and just. Look at it kind of like a compliment. I mean, I don't know how to say that you're doing such a good job that they can't handle it. And do something. So just you know, just bear through it, and you'll
keep on trucking, as they say.
Yeah, keep taking the phone calls, though. I really like your calling shows. I don't call in a whole lot, but haven't in a long time. But I like listening.
Well, I might do something where, like, on the weekends I do call-in shows, but maybe during the week, maybe have like the last hour people can call in or something, you know. But I notice that people don't really call in when you're talking about cold cases or whatever. You know, it's just, you know. They don't really have anything to say. But I think if I mix in, like I've been trying to do more lately, current cases and a cold case, and then open up the phones and, you know, make that for anything, and then people can talk about whatever they want to talk about. All right. So there you go. Let's do that.
Yeah. Oh, I had one last. Now I remember one last question, if I could. I know you got other callers, but the two girls who were killed in Iowa. Do you think there's any connection with this group to them? Lyric something and
well they're looking in. I mean, well, there's an article that said that they're looking into it, but who's they? And they didn't even say like a source in the police said this. They just said that they're looking at it, but who's, you know. Those are the articles I can't stand. At least mention a anonymous source in law enforcement, something like that. But instead, it didn't even say that. Oh. So yeah, I mean, I saw an article that mentioned it. Zozo sent it to me. I mean, it was from a normal type of an outlet, but they didn't word it correctly. So not really sure what to make of that. It wouldn't shock me at all if it was related somehow.
No, I hope that it turns into something.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great if it was. Then two families would have answers. Two families that have sort of been connected. Sort of, you know, like connected in terms of the two cases are similar. One was 5 years before, but the Indiana State Police did communicate with the Iowa Police Department over there, and they did communicate about it and the similarities and things like that. So it's not like it's something just that would be out of the blue. It's literally something that has been discussed for years.
Yeah. Those two poor little girls too. think about that case as well. So
Yeah, the only thing, what's crazy about that case, had one of them filmed the same exact blurry image with a voice, that case would be just as big as Abby and Libby's case. But but they didn't, so it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
This case is pretty peculiar. So.
Yep. So.
All right. Well, good. I'll let you go. And actually, I'm going to go meet a friend at the American Sector restaurant where I met you and
oh, nice.
wife.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they got good hamburgers over there.
Yeah, they really do. They're some of the best in the city. So.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you
Okay.
calling in. Calling
All right,
again.
Good talking to you.
All right, man. Have a good one. See ya.
Take care. Good night.
Bye. All right. Well, there's nobody on hold all of a sudden. There was a whole bunch, and they all just dropped off. For some reason, I remember coming out, but you could only understand. No. We there was never more audio, Heather. There were people that took the part that goes, guys, down the hill, and they go, oh, look at, I can hear something in there. There was really audio there, and they cut it out. No, they didn't. Okay, they didn't do that. Yeah, it is cool when people call in. Yeah, but you know what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to... Let me lock the meeting for a little bit, and then I'm going to... I'm going to go get that press conference that we were talking about earlier. After I put myself in prison again. Second night, Gray mentions burger. Well, yeah, well, it was in Louisiana. Let's see. It was at CrimeCon, and I met Richard the Mechanic Canic. Yeah, it's
doing this every year that we have to.
Finally.
Well, actually, I'm gonna do this differently. Hold on. I don't want to have it be on YouTube itself. Just a second. I take a minute here. Pre-bail? Are you saying I'm gonna get thrown in? Oh wow. So you actually set up like a canteen account. Awesome. Thank you. Kit Kat. Kit Kat's one of the originals, OGs, I guess you could call her. She's been around a long time. For the YouTube live stream days. Yeah, Becky's one of the nicest people out there. I mean, she does get angry at these crazy people, though, I can tell you. Pre-bail. So what does that mean? Are you throwing me in prison? That's pretty funny. Jail trail mix fun. Wow, so you guys are sending me trail mix. Thank you. Alright, so I was able to download that really quick, so now let's go play it.
Investigate pretty empty. Carter, superintendent of Indiana State Police. After years of working with investigators, Carter told me he had dreamed this announcement would come, but the arrest of Richard Allen was not exactly how Carter had imagined it.
What went through your mind when you learned that he was in custody?
Empty. I felt pretty empty. It wasn't what I anticipated it to be.
Is she on hold right now, LM? All right, I'll do the, I'll turn it off, but I mean, come on, I mean, you know, I can't read people's minds, so the phone lines are not locked now if you want to call in, but I want to go through some of this too. Okay, LM, so tell her to call in if she feels like it.
Hey, Bob, I was, it was a bit overwhelming, quite frankly, at least initially.
WTHR.
And it caused me to really go back in time and try to understand the magnitude of what's just happened.
When you spoke to Abby and Libby's families, how did they respond?
They didn't really know what to say, and it was that feeling of after all of these years, we heard what we wanted to hear. Now what? How are we supposed to feel? I think they were pleased because remember, we don't tell the family much more than the rest of the world knows. We can't. So they have the same questions that everyone else has.
There are lots of questions because the Carroll County prosecutor filed a request at the courthouse to keep records in the murder case sealed. That includes the probable cause affidavit, a document that would help explain why police believe Richard Allen...
Look at everybody sounds like the down the hill guy. Watch. Guys, down the hill. Look how good I say that. Watch. Guys, down the hill. Guys, down the hill. But I don't really sound like that, right? But here's the thing. This is my normal voice. Hey, everybody, what's going on? But I can also sound, if I'm just kind of mellow, like, yeah, I don't know. You know, it's just kind of, yeah, guys, down the hill. Right? So, it's just, yeah, I hope you don't sound anything like that. Guys, down the hill. Guys, down the hill. All right. Anyway, let me get back to, let's get some more of the... There you go. I almost feel like they're using my audio version of that. Guys, down the hill.
Indiana State Police said this man was a person...
I already was tipped in early on because I just knew too much. You know, it couldn't be that I was just observing things better than other people. They go, Gray just knew too much. Oh, wow. And they turned me in after they would call me dumb. Oh, Gray, you know what the hell you're talking about. Then Gray knows too much. And then they slap my Facebook account onto the Indiana State Police and say, hey, you guys need to look at this guy. So I went over there and I posted my flow video, the very first one. And that's why Robert Ives called me. He wasn't a detective trying to figure out who I was. He called me up to say, hey, man, that's good shit. I like the way you were able to display it, because when you do trials and court cases, you need for people to see something and it makes sense to them. And I like the way you do that. Now, if we arrest this person, we might actually hire you to make graphics for us to be able to display. I mean, this is an actual conversation that happened, okay? All right.
The interest, a prime suspect.
And one of these days he'll come on my show. Like when all this crap's done, he will come on, okay?
Murders of Abby and Libby.
Is Richard Allen the man who was captured in that video?
That answer will be known sometime in the near future.
While Carter won't...
Okay, let's see, but he did say that. The other day, he said, we got that guy, the guy between the two sketches. Well, the sketch is, they've always said the sketch is the guy on the bridge, okay? So... despite him not saying it on this one, he did say it.
Talk right now about the evidence. He is very confident that police have identified the killer. He has not spoken directly to Richard Allen since his arrest, but he did speak to him indirectly at a press conference near...
Yeah. Let's get back to the...
His way to announce an arrest in the Delphi...
Hundreds over time.
Are you aware of any other cases that have had that many individuals participate from an investigative standpoint?
Bob, in a year and a half or so, I'll finish my 40th year. I've never seen anything like this in my entire career. I think one of the reasons is because it's captured the attention of the world, because it's Everytown USA. It's Everytown USA.
Right. They've said 100 times, the sketch is the guy on the bridge, and they've also said the guy on the bridge, that voice, is responsible for the murders of Abby and Libby. So when you put that all together, now maybe things have changed. I doubt it. But, you know.
It's your daughter and it's mine. It's her friend and it's my daughter's friend. I think that's one of the reasons that it's captured the attention of really the globe.
But there are other unsolved homicides
They got a problem
in
with the
Indiana,
voice
in small towns very similar to
sync
Delphi.
there.
Some involving children, even younger.
From people. And Black stood on the outside, and it just broke my heart that it was still there because I hadn't seen it in some time. The cases the investigations are very different, but the tragic outcome is the same when there's loss of life. And I hope that one day we can do the same thing, but we have to hear from people.
I don't even
and I hope that one day
police said they have not gotten
time at that reasonable amount of time grew to be longer than I thought.
Have you ever had doubts and worries that there would not be an arrest in this case?
I did, but I fought it. It's haunted me. Yes, I have. And then I'd pick up the phone and I'd call one of those detectives and...
Yeah, at the beginning I was just kind of like, he still doesn't tug at my heartstrings but I know for certain that he really does care. It's just, for some reason, he doesn't do that for me. But I totally believe he really does care, and he's a good guy, and you know that because all the family members love Doug Carter, and if you listen to some other wacko channels out there, they would make you believe that Doug Carter's suspicious of them and treats them, they're just idiots.
Say, hey, it's me, how you doing today? And I'd hang up that phone and I'd think, oh man, they don't feel that way. So I would be at peace again.
Are you at peace right now?
Yes. I see the culmination of extraordinary effort and hurt and pain in the community that will begin now, hopefully to heal. But again, we're not done. We are not done. We're not going to leave that community until this is over.
Carter said...
Well, when does he mention the... I thought you guys said he mentions Ron Logan and stuff like that. Didn't see it.
Period of time to keep it secret.
Hold on. I don't see it. Don't see the Ron Logan thing. You guys were mentioning that it does Ron Logan. So if somebody wants to send me an email that has the when he talks about Ron Logan and give me the time frame, let me know, okay? All right, 347, you're on.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Not too bad. Who's this?
This is Jay from New York City.
Are you sure? Because you kind of hesitated. You went, Jay, yeah. What's going on?
Yeah, I wanted to chime in. I'm not too sure what the topic was on Delphi, but I wanted to add something, my little theory on what might have happened with this case.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know if you remember a guy named Peter Scully.
No.
He made a snuff film called Daisy's Destruction.
Yeah, I don't know anything. I don't know anything about snuff films, so.
All right, so there's many documentaries on this film that was made, and it was selling on the dark web for $10,000 to $20,000 before he was eventually tracked down, and he recruited 2 other people. And I'm not going to get into the details of this snuff film, but it took a while for the FBI to find this guy. So I believe that if Kagan Klein was a participant in this crime, he lured them to the site, and then Richard Allen did what he did, took photos, made videos, and then there's a ring of people that will pay astronomical amounts of money to see these snuff films. And a lot of people think snuff films are not real, and they are.
Well, they're definitely real.
Peter Scully.
That's what I was saying at the beginning of the show, is that, there might be, people might pay a lot of money for, and this might be a particularly expensive one that somebody might pay for. And that's why you go to Las Vegas. I don't know if you heard my theory the other night. Did you ever watch that show?
I might have missed it, but please educate me on it.
Well, mine is that, you've got let's see. It would be Richard Allen is part of the network, that the Dropbox led to. Like he's just one of the people that's, that Tony knows and Kagan knows, and I think that Kagan met him at somewhere near the Marathon gas station, picked him up, parked the car. Kagan was the one that parked the car near let's just say it was the abandoned CPS building, his Jeep. Then Richard Allen gets out, goes down, kills the two girls, and he films it and takes pictures of what he's doing, even the chase or whatever. They're going down the hill. He's filming the whole thing, puts it on the Samsung S5 phone that he had, and he was given the phone by Kagan. And then when he gets back to the car, the Jeep, at the abandoned CPS building, he hands Kagan the Galaxy S5 and the weapon. And then Kagan drives the Galaxy S5 and the weapon all the way back to Peru, Indiana, throws the weapon off the bridge. That's why they were searching the Wabash right there, because he knows exactly where it was thrown. And then a week or so later, him and his dad go to, I think they all are involved, drove to Las Vegas, and in Las Vegas took the contents of the Galaxy S5, which had the film on it that we're talking about, and sold it to an individual in Las Vegas. Then he factory reset the Galaxy S5 on the 23rd of February. Then they come home, and the police have a warrant at their home, and there was nothing on that on that camera anymore, on the phone. So that's basically the general theory right there. And it's part of...
It sounds about right, and I was thinking the same thing. Now, anybody, don't type in Daisy's destruction in Google, but there is a documentary on YouTube about Daisy's destruction. That was the name of the video. It was made by Peter Scully. The FBI tracked him down for months, and it was a similar, the victim in this video was younger, but these films do exist, and there is a demand for these films, and people pay a lot of money. The more exclusive, the more dark, and the more twisted they are, the more money people will pay to see it. They don't actually have to obtain a copy of it, but just to see the snuff film, they'll pay upwards of $50,000. And if you think I'm lying, type in Peter Scully in YouTube, and you can see the documentary. So I completely agree with your theory, and I think that's what happened too. That's all I got to say.
Well, is that sort of how you were? I'm putting mine together based on information that's been either put out there by the Murder Sheet podcast or the documents that we had also released by them, the 194-page document, and everything. So my theory is based on actual information that's been put out there. It's not just wild speculation. So hopefully...
Gotcha.
It could actually be absolutely not true, and it's some other thing, but it seems to make sense because, again, I'll say it for the third time tonight, for people to believe that the Anthony Schatz profile and Kagan Klein is not connected to Richard Allen, you would have to believe that, and we know this to be a true thing that happened, was that the Anthony Schatz profile communicated with Libby's phone at 8 in the morning on the day of the murders. Then, after they went missing, one of Libby's friends, who was already communicating with this person, said, "Hey, did you hear what happened to Libby?" And he said, "Oh my God, what? I was supposed to meet her, but she never showed up." So what we're supposed to believe is that the Anthony Schatz profile, a catfishing account, merely did not get to meet with Libby because some other random killer killed her. So, what a horrible day all around that would have been. First of all, she was supposed to meet a catfishing account named Anthony Schatz, but that person didn't get to meet her because she was killed by a random killer. Do you think that is even remotely possible? To me, it just seems like, wow. Really? You're going to have a catfishing account and a killer on the same day, and they don't know each other? Yeah, no way.
Right.
So.
I agree. And just, a lot of people think there's not a demand and there's not sick people that do want to see films and things like that. And there are people that have a lot of money that will pay for a snuff film. So that,
Yeah, I agree.
I completely agree.
I think
Thank
I
you.
think that's exactly what you would be doing in Vegas too. Isn't Vegas? Seems like Las Vegas would be a place where you might trade something like that on a street somewhere. You know. Or
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, I appreciate your call. It was interesting.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if I'll be looking that up, but who knows, right?
Yeah, Peter Scully. If you get time, Peter Scully, and it's called Daisy's Destruction. You'll see the documentary, and there's an eerie parallel between Delphi and this. What I think.
So why do you think? I mean, when you say tell people not to look it up on their computer, why can't they do that?
All right, because it was on the dark. It's still on the dark web. And I don't want anybody to get in trouble if they type it in a search.
Yeah, but you're saying it's on YouTube, though, right?
The film, it's a crime. If you see the film, it's a crime because it involves a child. But if you just look at the documentary on YouTube about the snuff film,
well, that's what I would rather see. That, not the guy. So, what's the name of the documentary?
I forgot the name of it. But the guy, if you type in Peter Scully, Daisy's Destruction in YouTube on the search bar, there'll be like 3 or 4 documentaries on it. So just type that in, Peter Scully, Daisy's Destruction.
So the documentary doesn't show any crazy shit, right? It just talks about.
No, it doesn't show any. No. It doesn't show anything crazy, but it's very graphic. It's very graphic. That's all I'm gonna say.
Like
it
how it
doesn't show
describes.
anything.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. All right. Thanks for calling in. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see somebody, because that's a really dark part of the CSAM world. It's just really crazy. Let me get this. 260, you're on.
Hi, this is Angela. How are you?
Not too bad. How's it going?
Pretty good. Actually, so I don't get to listen to your show for 4 hours every night due to my work schedule, but my question to you is, I feel like you know a lot of the facts, so a lot of people come to you to hear those if they're not certain. And my question is about the recording. It was like 43 or 48 seconds long, correct?
43 seconds, yeah.
Okay, 43 seconds. And then everyone keeps saying that Down the Hill was at the end of the recording. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, yeah. I made a whole video on this topic right here. Like, because what I was saying was like near the end of the video, he says down the hill. So about 10 seconds before that is where the killer was. So then you go back another 10 seconds or so, and then there's another, I would say, and then I added like 5. So there's like a good 20 to 25 seconds even further back where the video started. The person's way back there when it starts.
Yeah, I think I've seen that part. So I just saw a show on the ID channel. It's called Still a Mystery. It was season 1, like episode 2, called Down the Hill, where a lot of the show was about Anna Williams in the interview, and she stated that at the end, the girls made a comment about
which way to go,
but the path ends here, something along those lines. So I was trying to figure out, like, how does that mean there's more of the recording?
No, because that's just right then. So here's how it would work. When the guy's 60 feet away or further, there's another 20 seconds before. It was so the way that it works, when he says guys down the hill, that's like 15 or so seconds after the video portion that we see, the one that they released. The video that we've seen that's 2 seconds long.
Yeah.
Right, that was released. That's about 10 or 15 seconds before he would have said, guys, down the hill. So in between there, the girls are talking about things like, which way to go? Where should we go? And then I think even Abby says at one point, is that a gun? He's got a gun, something like that. That's what one of Anna's friends was told a long time ago. And so we don't, so there's obviously all kinds of other stuff being talked about in between. In that whole 43 seconds, there's a lot more of the girls talking.
Okay, so the path ends here means probably more towards the end of the bridge, not down the hill.
Well, there's just you know, when you get to the end of the bridge, you could go down the hill and it goes to a private drive, but the path sort of fades out a little bit. It doesn't just kind of keep going. It's filled with woods, but it is an old railroad track, so you know it's not quite as dense as maybe some of the other woods. But
Okay, and then do you remember anything at the beginning of like the press conferences that they had at the beginning of when all this happened, where the law enforcement would say things like they said, well, what did you hear on there? And it said they would say things like things I'll never forget or stuff made of nightmares.
Yeah.
Them commenting about how terrible it was.
Yeah, we've talked. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, so I just wondered if you thought maybe there's more that we haven't heard that they're not telling us. Obviously, that's speculation.
Well, they saw the crime scene. That's why they say that.
Well, they asked the question. They asked about what they heard, and they said they heard things that they'll never forget. And I thought that just meant on the recording, but maybe it was.
Well, yeah, it could just be that you're hearing that they're scared about this person.
Okay, well, I appreciate your time. That's why I just wanted to know if you thought or speculated that there's
because you know these girls.
recording.
I mean, these girls are at the end of the bridge. They obviously are nervous and worried about this person coming towards them. You know, they might have even gone to the other end of the bridge to avoid having to pass this person that was coming quickly. When that video started, 43 seconds before it, you know, like let's just say 40 seconds before it said down the hill, you know, like that guy is way back there, and Abby is probably another like 25, 30 feet onto the bridge. So on that early part of the video, I bet you Abby is definitely in the video being filmed, and then she sort of pans it back around and then films the guy kind of low, and then Abby's still on the bridge while she's filming this person. There's actually part of her jacket that shows up in one of the frames, couple frames, and then she goes off the end of the bridge, gets behind Libby, Abby does, and that's when he comes by and says, hey guys, you know, and then her phone goes down low and maybe in a pocket or something, but it starts filming really low and nothing of usable value, but there's still audio. That's when you hear like down the hill, but it's not it's not like a full video.
Saying that, so you're saying when they say the path ends here, it was before they said the guy said guys down the hill. That makes more sense to me now than I was thinking it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I thought that Anna was saying that at the end of the recording was, but the path ends here. So it's more before they say guys.
Yeah, they're just having this conversation. Then the guy goes, guys, passes him. And I think, early on, before Guys was even released, because that was the last little piece of audio that was released, a person told us, me and LM and, other people, years ago, in 2017, that he said, hey, hey, guys, kind of means the same thing. Like, he came by and said, hey, and they said, huh, huh, or something like that, like back. Then he said, down the hill, right? So, she just said, hey, but, that's kind of like the generic way of saying guys, like, hey, guys, guys, or hey, or whatever. So that's what was told a long time ago, and that definitely is basically, to me, it means the same thing, just saying guys or hey, you're just saying hey to some people, and, so.
Well, thank you, Gray. I'm glad you helped me clear that up. I just couldn't understand how that part would be at the ending, but it was prior to it. So
yeah, it might have just been 5 seconds before it, like they went, yeah, the path ends here. Hey, guys, hey, what's going on? And then click down the hill. Like he might have, I don't know when the part was said, like, he's got a gun. Is that a gun? He's got a gun. I don't know when that was.
Right.
But man, what a freaking nightmare that is. It's freaking sucks.
Was she ever recorded saying that, Anna? So
I don't know. People get too into like, who said, what did they say?
Yeah.
All I have is a conversation between, well, it's not the conversation between them, but it's somebody telling me exactly what a person who watched the video told them. So that's what I have. So it's a first person account that I have of what they were told was on the video, which is pretty accurate because it was actually, you know, Anna told a friend, and the friend told me exactly what was on there. So there you go.
Yeah. And one last question: was the shoe that was found? Was it ever said or mentioned where that shoe was found? Was it found on the other side of the river, or does it not say?
It was, well, yeah, it was in the podcast that we did. It's on the side of the bridge, not on the side that they were found.
Okay.
It's on the ground on this side, you know, the bridge side of the river. You know, it's not in the property, Logan's property. It wasn't found there.
What are your thoughts on why that shoe would be on that side? Especially
Well, I don't know. I mean, my thoughts are just like maybe she made a run for it, or both of them did, and they were caught over there, or it just, you know, like they were made to walk, and the shoes weren't really on very good. One of them came off, and I really don't know. You know, some people think, oh, maybe he took both shoes, but they dropped one on the way out. You know, because he took one. You know, he took socks and underwear. You know, I just think the shoe may have slipped off, or it came off when they tried to make run, and maybe they were going to get. Maybe they were made to run on purpose, though. You know, I always wondered about that because when you know, if you want to add in allegedly Tony Klein, he liked to chase little girls around, and he loved the fear that they felt. You know, so you sort of wonder, is that something that was part of this somehow, if they're involved at all? You know.
Yeah, well, I hate to admit that I watch so much true crime, but I just recently saw a show where the girl left her shoe behind on purpose, and I was wondering if that could possibly be an option, just because they said there was no, how did they word it?
Well, I guess it's possible, like Hansel and Gretel, like here's a trail, just help me, you know, might help you find me. Yeah, I guess it's possible. Don't really know, but.
And it's also mentioned that they think just recently that the phone was found at the site.
That's not just recently. See, here's the thing, everybody. Like, I don't know where you guys are going or what you're watching and stuff. Like, it's really bizarre. Like, this is stuff that's been known since the very beginning, but people watch absolute garbage YouTube. And we've played it probably 10 times on the shows. The Jerry Holman interview from 2017, where he said that the phone was found near the scene, you know, right around there. You know, like the phone was there. Okay, it's not like it, and the video itself was not on the cloud. It was recovered from the phone itself. You know, it's just bizarre though to me, the stuff that people don't know. I guarantee you this: the people that watch this channel over the years know all of the actual real pieces of information that matter in the case. You know. So.
Wouldn't you think there would be a ton more information on Libby's phone? I mean, I realize it was.
Yeah, there was. He even says, Jerry Holman said that there are other photographs and other videos that they took that day on that phone.
Yeah, but I mean, do you think that they had any more conversations that they're not telling us about?
Well, I don't. I mean, how would I know that? You know.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it seems like there'd be a lot more information they would have that us as public wouldn't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's interesting. All right, well, I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, good.
Have a good one.
Bye. People keep asking what's a snuff film. Is a video made where the person is merely killed to make a video showing somebody being killed. That's why they were killed. It's a video showing the murder of somebody, but they were only murdered to make the film. It wasn't like, oh, you just happen to catch some random killing out there. You know, it's disgusting, but it actually exists. You know. And we're back into one of these modes again, you guys. Let's see. Now, what were the points that she made, Mitch? They were just questions. I don't even understand what the hell you're talking about. All right, let's do right here. All right, call-in user.
This is Sean.
Yeah, what's going on, Sean? What do you got?
a variety of things, and but this time I wanted to ask you a few questions about. I think the theory that you've come up with that actually ties the Kleins and Richard Allen together makes a lot of sense. I'm just curious about a few things and like how you would envision this going down if the girls didn't actually go across the bridge, where he would have this seclusion and have that ability to.
Yeah, like if they
this.
if they choose. Yeah. I've actually gone over I don't know if people are watching, but the other theory that I had, I've actually said this many times, is that I think the killer would have killed them had they even gone down the other path. There's a 505 trail there. So right where you get out of your car, there's an intersection there on the trails where there's the 501 and the 505. And I think even if they'd gone down the 505 trail here, the Mary Gerard Nature Reserve trail, I guess, down in that area, he would have done the same thing, because he knew there wasn't a soul in the park other than him and the two girls at that time. He was monitoring.
Okay, and I could see that. I mean, it just felt like where it all ended up, it just felt like maybe dumb luck if this is the case where they have Egan in the car. And I know this is we're just thinking it's theory. So saying that he is in the car, Richard Allen goes down there, hopes for whatever privacy that he can have, and then trying to do this with the hopes of no one showing up, no one being there, no screams, no nothing. It just seems like so risky, and I know that's what these idiots do, but I don't know if it seems just so perfect that they ended up at the end of the bridge. Maybe they were told to go to the end of the bridge, and that's where the meetup spot was.
Yeah, I've heard people say that. I mean, to me, that makes more sense for me, that like they went out there to meet this cute guy who didn't show up. They waited for 20 minutes. It took them 30 minutes to go somewhere that the first photograph was at 2:07, but they were dropped off at 1:37. But it only should have taken maybe 10 minutes to get that distance. So there's 20 minutes of missing time before the 2:07 photograph. But we don't, they could have walked straight to the bridge and took a lot of photos at the beginning. We don't really know. But either way, I think what they were doing is they were waiting for this cute guy named Anthony Schatz. And maybe they saw this creepy looking dude sitting on a bench or something and didn't really put the things together. But they were waiting around, lollygagging waiting for Anthony Schatz. And then eventually they go, well, my dad's going to be here in an hour and a half, so let's go take some pictures. So they go to the bridge. They start walking across the bridge, taking pictures, because they were, when you watch them on the bridge, they're slowly, you can tell that they're moving slowly because it took them a long time to get across. And they're taking whimsical photographs, one of the whole length of the bridge, one of Abby, nobody's behind them or anything. They're just kind of having fun. And then I would imagine at some point they see that same maybe creepy guy that was sitting on a bench following. And then they go, oh, crap. So they sort of start moving a little bit quicker. They were probably 2/3 of the way across anyways, but then they started moving a little bit quicker. And this guy caught all the way up to him because it only takes 4 minutes to cross the bridge. But we know that from 2:07 to 2:13, Abby was still on the bridge a little bit. So that was 6 minutes to go 2/3 of the length of the bridge. So he's moving way faster than they are. And they were still like, oh my God, who's this guy? And then I bet you there was probably a moment, because if it is true that Libby asked her sister and somebody else, or just her sister, hey, do you want to come to the bridge today too? Because maybe she was a little bit leery of this person, but thought maybe just bringing Abby was enough to be too many people. But it wasn't, and she probably realized, oh my God, this is like this, because I guess this other friend had told her, hey, you don't know who this guy is, this 19-year-old, and here this person comes, and she probably realized it, turned on that camera, absolutely panic-filled, and it turned into the worst nightmare, and it got worse and worse and worse. I mean, it just absolutely crazy shit. How about that?
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I wonder if too that maybe they just got, tired of waiting around in that time. Maybe they were waiting around hoping to see somebody, and then they just finally said, you know what, this isn't going to work. Well, let's go down to the bridge. And then they ended up that way. It's just hard. It's not hard to believe, but I mean, to think that if they didn't go down that way, that maybe the end goal is for this Richard Allen to murder them at this place. And I hate even saying it, but maybe the idea was to just get them back to the Jeep. But why park so far away?
I don't think abduction was ever part of something.
Yeah.
I don't know. People say that, but I mean, I don't know how you would get them both into the Jeep and 4 people or whatever, but it just feels
so
like
far away.
Especially if you believe in he was there. The whole purpose was to film and take pictures of something horrendous, and maybe Richard Allen is somebody who always kind of fantasized about that, and they used his desire to experience something like that to their advantage, because maybe even, let's just say one of the Kleins. I mean, I'm just throwing this out there. Again, this is just theories based on information put out there. We don't know. But, there's actually a desire and a want for those types of videos out there. But he got to experience it. Then he transfers the video. They take it to Las Vegas and they sell it. And I've gone through the whole theory on how it all.
Oh yeah, I listen all the time. I have I come in as Case Crack. That's my moniker, and I know it bothers you that I have like the dog the bounty hunter thing. It's a long, stupid standing joke within my friend group, but nonetheless, I always listen to, and I just think like, well, what happened if they don't cross the bridge? And then what happens? It's like, it just happened to be in this perfect spot where they could end up and he could have this time. And it's like, okay, well, if that doesn't go down that way, like you said, yes, they could down to 505. But again, it's like, it's just so risky. But I guess these lunatics, they're willing to take these types of risks. But I love the theory. I think it makes a lot of sense. And just wanted to.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, that is a good point, because it's kind of like, what if the girls got there and they just hung out at right at the parking area waiting for Anthony Schatz, and he doesn't show up and they just chill out right there? I mean, but kids don't do that. So this person just sat there and waited and went, okay, there they go. They're going down that trail. Okay, now they're already isolated now. They're already isolated. When they went on the bridge, he was like, oh man, I'm going to do it.
You wonder if Richard Allen was like, shit, now I have to cross this bridge. You know what I mean? Like, if the goal was to just do it on the other side.
Yeah, but he probably did it quick.
Make it easier.
He seemed like he was.
Yeah, he moved quick.
Yeah,
he moved quick.
Yeah, he definitely. I mean, it'd be interesting to see even the full 43-second video, because I'm sure he's in it a little bit. He's just not as clear as he is in those 2 seconds that they released.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I love just keep trying to pining it down to like get some answers, and just so happy this guy is caught. And then I just love listening to your show, and I'll always be here. And
appreciate it.
To the Freak family, you guys are the best, and Greg, you're the best. Let's keep going at it.
All right, cool.
Have a good night.
All right, man. Hey, appreciate it. Thanks. Wow, we've just had a bunch of normal calls tonight. What happened, man? Where are the crazy people? Uh-oh. Be careful what you wish for. No, they do exist, those snuff films. They do exist. Yeah, he's got short legs. He basically, his legs and his torso are similar lengths. Normally, people have longer legs than torso. We've always noticed that. We've talked about that for years, how the killer has shorter legs and a longer torso, or, whatever. It's probably not a longer torso, just shorter legs, right? I mean, you might look like you have a long torso if your legs are 2 feet long and your torso's 4. But you might be... I'm just kidding. Hey, thanks, Scooter Larson. Thanks for supporting the channel. We're going to be... I might actually make a donation not too distant here in the future. So, early in the month this time. We've done other early months, but maybe like on the 10th, we'll do something. How about that? He was short. He hid well within the trees. Yeah. You can't see him, everybody. I will show you this. It was pretty interesting. One thing that Daily Mail had from... I went back today and found... Like, here is... Let me play... I'll read you this one first. See, this is Fox 59 on February 14th of 2017. It says, multiple agencies continue the search for two missing girls. 13-year-old... One of them was 13 and 14 is the actual reality, though. Around 5:30 p.m. Monday, officers responded to reports of two missing girls. Police say the girls were supposed to be picked up by family members at a predetermined time. That's not true either. So they were just going to be picked up between an hour and a half and 2 hours. So not a specific time. But when family arrived, the girls were not there. Family and friends immediately began to search for Liberty German and Abigail Williams in the nearby area. Police say they were last seen shortly after 1 p.m. See, that's not true now either, but that was just what, at the time the family goes, yeah, it was around 1 o'clock, But when they checked phone records later, it was 1:37 was the last time any family member saw either of them. Hey, thank you very much, Eugenie. And thanks for that link. I got a few more cases out of Eugene area to do. So it was at 1:37, not 1 p.m., near an abandoned railroad bridge known as the Monin High Bridge. Police say Liberty is 5'4" and heavy built. I guess she weighed like 200 pounds. She has blonde shoulder-length hair and blue eyes. She was last seen wearing a tie-dye shirt, fringed at the bottom, gray sweats with unknown black lettering, and black Nike shoes. They also say Abigail was wearing a gray zip-up sweater with a burgundy t-shirt underneath and blue jeans. She was possibly wearing tennis shoes, but no description was available at the time. Based on the you can see the shoes in the pictures. Based on the information given by family and friends, police do not believe foul play is involved. Jeez. And have been given no information that would lead them to believe the girls are in any immediate danger other than exposure to outdoor elements. Right. Well, that is true. Like, there was no information indicating, but it wasn't, definitely isn't accurate, right? Thank you, Bree Rice. Officers looked into issuing an Amber Alert, but were informed this incident does not meet the criteria. Yes, because you need a vehicle with a license plate. But great, what about the Jeep parked at the abandoned... Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right, let me get to the... And then in this article, on the same date, by Daily Mail, who gets stuff completely wrong, but look how crystal clear their two images they have in here. They've got the copies of the originals in here. These are... let me just save these out to in here. So I thought that was pretty cool. Just a second. Get that one. And then here's the other one. Hold on, let me get some music playing here. Maybe not that loud, but... Great, that's what I'm talking about. You woke me up. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty clear. But there's the burgundy shirt, the gray zip-up sweater. I think I have a better one than this, actually, myself. But there, and she does have, looks like Chuck Taylor, like those little high-top basketball shoes, jeans. There is nobody back here. This isn't a person right there. It's been debunked 100,000 times. That's not a person right there. That's not a person. 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 That's not a. These back here. Oh, forget it. Let me see if I can find that really clear version somewhere. It's probably not that one. Yeah. So that's the unclear. Yeah, so it probably is the other one. So, I mean, it's just so creepy, isn't it? Like, it's weird to see this picture and realize just 6 minutes later, after this picture is taken, a psycho came from over there and followed them all the way across. So, right now, that's platform 1, 2. She's not even at platform 3, but Libby is on platform 3 taking that photograph. She's standing right here taking the photograph back, and then there's platform 2 and number 1 is back there. So there, that bridge goes from right here to here, and they're almost probably 40% of the way across the bridge when they're at platform 3 there. And then the guy, he catches up to him right at the end of the bridge. So he was just hustling across there. Hello. Call-in user 2. Hello, who's this? Oh, Joe, hey, what's going on?
It's Jenny.
Yeah.
Remember when that guy said the bridge guy was a ninja?
The bridge guy was a ninja? I don't remember that.
Yeah. You don't? That was
like
my
years
favorite
ago?
theory, that he was, it was a couple years ago. It was the one guy that was like a colonel or something. He said that bridge guy was like a martial artist or a ninja. And that was my favorite theory. And that's all I called him to say.
I mean, when you look at Richard Allen, doesn't he look like a ninja? Like a martial arts expert?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I mean, like I said, he has a very low center of gravity because he is short. So that's probably why he was so sprightly to cross that bridge so fast. But that's my only theory. And that's all. It's not even a theory. It's just.
By the way,
Anyway,
she sent me these really cool rocks. Those are cool rocks. I like the red one.
Yeah, they're cool.
You're gonna have to get that one smoothed up for me and send it to me. The red one.
Okay. They're only cool if they're underwater, though. Like if they're wet, they're cool. If they're dry, they just look like rocks.
Well, that's why you got what you do
They're
is you
magic.
grab all those and take them somewhere and have them put them through the polisher thing. You know, you don't have to do it.
I looked up the rock tumbler, and it takes like 2 weeks to do, and it has to run 24 hours a day. Like that thing is really loud. So I was like, and I picked up so many of them that, yeah. Anyway, that's all.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I appreciate you calling in. I guess it wasn't a ninja. Oh well.
No, it was not a ninja at all.
Yeah.
I know that I've asked you this before, but what do you think the stuff was that they took out of his house? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, it's hard to really know. They just were talking about like a little box and some fabric that was dark and some folders. And
The books are the things that were like caught my interest. They're small books, like a small stack of books. I'm like, what could that be?
I don't know. It's interesting though, right? Like
That's the one that caught my interest.
I mean, they might have just like maybe they're journals or something, or maybe they're. I mean, that'd be interesting if he was a journal writer. He doesn't strike me as somebody that has a journal, but I mean, you never know.
Yeah, he doesn't strike me as like a dear diary,
Yeah.
a diary kind of guy.
Or just like he's writing
And-
about the day. You know, it's just
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he doesn't strike me as that kind of guy. That's why I kind of wondered if they weren't, those little photo albums that you get at, or like, you know how when you get pictures from back when you would get pictures developed, they come in
Yeah.
that weird envelope. It's like a strange shape. It kind of looks like a little notebook or something. That's why I was like,
Have you
I
seen
wonder
pictures
if
of the things? I haven't really seen that. What they
No,
took out.
I don't think there are any pictures. I just read it in like
Yeah, I mean,
read
that
it
would be
somewhere.
interesting if it was like
Not on
a
Reddit.
photo album, and then he took photos and put them in there. But I mean, wouldn't that be crazy to have photo albums
Yeah.
sitting around the house with like CSAM material in them? I mean, I don't know.
I feel like that's not what it was either. So I don't know what it was, but that was the only thing that I was like, I wonder what those little small stack of small books were. You know, like that was just like interesting to me because I'm kind of nosy like that. So
Yeah, people
anyway.
say they think because he worked at CVS that he loads up on photos. I mean, maybe he does something like he works at CVS and he prints off little images. I mean, I could see this. That every so often when a client comes in and he sees a girl in the images that he's attracted to, that he
maybe he
prints off something and takes it home and puts it in his little album. But it seems so risky to print something off at the store.
That's what I think too.
Yeah. Wouldn't you
Because
just take the image
also,
home
like,
or something?
Nowadays,
Yeah.
what's that?
I mean, you would just take like the image home and print it and then maybe put it into the album. You wouldn't print it off at the store, right? Like that'd be stupid.
I don't know. It just seems really risky because I think that, I mean, I haven't printed off like a roll of film in a really long time, like forever, you know? But I feel like, don't they just come up digitally and then you pick the ones that you want to print now or something?
Yeah, you can just pick them. And also, why wouldn't he just take the digital image and keep it stored somewhere and look at it instead of a photo album that a family member or a kid could stumble upon? You know?
Yeah, it's just too risky. Then again, like that,
People are
it's
nuts.
all kind of risky.
Yeah, I mean,
like everything he did is kind of risky.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Too weird. I forgot what else I was going to ask you about because I had a little tiny ongoing list because I tried to call in the other day and then there were too many people watching and then I was like, nah, I'm not going to call in. But now there's still too many people watching, so I'm going to get off the phone now.
1,475. Yeah.
Yeah, good job. It's real fun to watch these shows and see that people are finally like kind of getting it a little bit, you know. And
One thing that's a little bit bothersome though is like then I did another show just on regular cold cases, and I think maybe it got up to 450 or so. You know, it wasn't the same. It's weird how people are just, you know. But I guess it's just the way it is.
You had like
you know?
400 people watching it. I thought.
Yeah,
I watched
it's
that
good.
one.
I mean,
It was,
400
like,
is
earlier
good.
in the day yesterday.
Right? Like 400 is not
Yeah,
bad.
I mean that's like it used to be like
300,
I feel like on average
250.
you used to get like 328 or like 420 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
On the show, and I liked it. I liked that kind of group. I liked it.
Yeah.
But I like this too. It's good. It's
Yeah, it's
nice
cool.
to see. And also, I really want Marilyn to call back in tonight. So I'm just putting that out there. Marilyn, if you're watching, I would really like you to call back.
Gray, what
Is that I
think
laughed
it-
so
Well,
hard
do an
yesterday,
imitation.
I was
Let's do
like,
an
oh, there
imitation.
she is. There she is.
No, do an imitation of her. Go ahead.
I can't. I can't personally. There's no way I could do that.
Okay.
But see, here she's
Wow,
calling.
you've
Okay, bye.
attracted more calls. All right, have a good one. See
Yeah,
you.
see you later.
All right,
Bye.
What was it? I can't remember what I was going to say. All right, 463. Oh, wait, hold on one second. Hey, everybody, hit the like button out there. That's what I was going to say, okay? So I got to play the auctioneer really quick. So hold on. You guys, we're 1,400 people, only 500 likes. That's ludicrous. Okay, so here we go. Hit that like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Come on, everybody. Hit that like button. It's not hard. You just hit it. Very simple. Very simple. All right, go ahead.
I guess any opinion on, since he's been arrested, do you think the incident that happened after the murders with the guy in the mask, or had the mask on with the female, does that mean anything more to you in regards to what could have
Well, yeah,
happened?
now it sort of opens up the door. I mean, then you sort of wonder, like, if there is a connection. I have a hard time believing there isn't one, but if there is a connection between the Anthony Schatz and Kagan Klein and Richard Allen, if there is a connection, then it opens the door up to, like, mate, wow, was he that person too? Did he have a camera on him there and he was trying to film the fear again and somebody else with the mask on? And, you know, it's just, it opens up the door to a lot of different things, because somebody was asking for an address that using the Kagan Klein Anthony Schatz account, but Kagan Klein already knew who the person is and didn't need to have the address. So who was it that was asking for the address? Right.
Very, yeah, that's very interesting that you said that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Well, and I was thinking about it. I mean, if it was Richard, I mean, what kind of guy is going to murder 2 kids and then have the urge and the ability to go out and try it 2 days later? Just goes against all FBI profiling I've ever heard. It just seems like,
it's
in
another
my opinion,
person, then,
yeah, exactly. It was a guy that was worked up for whatever they were trying to get done that didn't happen the right way, and he's going to risk it again. So I think it really points towards the possibility of more than one person.
Yeah, I think that it could actually be, you know, because allegedly Tony Klein, he'd done stuff like that earlier in his life.
Yep.
You know, but it's possible he has absolutely nothing to do with any of this stuff. But I mean, his behavior in life and documents released are, you know, why people talk about him as possibly being involved, since his son is the person who created the Anthony Schatz account and the Emily Ann account and the Dropbox account that led to one of the largest child pornography rings in Indiana state history. So,
yes, sir.
Yeah,
yep. I think eventually we'll find out that the murders were not planned. I think the plan was abduction. I think 2 or 3, 4 people were involved, and I think the person that was at that girl's window was still wanting to risk it. The person that killed those girls would not risk that. So that's what I asked for you tonight. My one distinction I made today.
So you think maybe it's the plan was to abduct them?
Yes, I believe that there's 3 or 4 people worked up about it. Plan was abduction, sexual assault, and then the murder happened. And then whoever wasn't involved, that was in with the planning, would do something like that a day later, because
not the killer, because he got his jollies off, the killer, so it'd be maybe one of the other 2. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. There's no other way. That'd be the urge of a very disgusting person that had their hopes up.
Huh. So. That's interesting. We'll have to see how that. Do you have experience in that field or something, or?
Not at all. No, it just occurred to me today. I was like, man, why would someone take that risk? Because I thought about Richard Allen. I was like, man, if he killed those 2 girls and then he was at someone else's house 2 days later, the past 5 years have been so dangerous for the town. Because he was taking risks 2 days later. So what was he doing a year after?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I was like, wait a minute. Yeah.
Well, you could say something, but you could also, because I mean, one of the things you might say is that you might, like, again, I said there's a mastermind. Maybe that's Tony, and then you have the hitman, I guess you might want to call it, would be Richard, and then maybe Kagan's the driver. So in that scenario, maybe he could do it another day, you know, in a different town. So you go all the way over to Peru, Indiana, a couple days later and do something similar, but you're not killing anybody. It's just put a mask on and scare some people, you know. I mean, who the hell knows?
Point.
I mean, it could be something like that, but it's just... Man, I really want to see that probable cause, to be honest with you, at this point.
Yeah, once we see that, I think we'll have
way better
a lot of the questions. I mean, obviously, a lot of answers. All right, thanks, sir. Appreciate
it. Have a good one. Thanks a lot.
Yep, bye.
Right. Hey, thanks for calling in. Those are good, interesting thoughts there. I thought. All right, I'm gonna close down the meeting now, but then I got 2 more calls here. 864, you're on.
Hey.
Hello.
Good evening. How are you?
Pretty good. Who's this?
This is Linda.
Well, how's it going?
It's going good. I watch your show quite a bit, and very glad to have a show that does present the material in a way that, you know, is trying to do it for a good cause, and, you know, to do it clearly, and I really appreciate that your content is that way. I appreciate that greatly.
Well, thank you.
Oh, sure. So like tonight's show, the callers, I want to give them an A+. Yesterday's, was everything to get through that one.
That was great. Yeah,
probably for you too.
It's like I mean, people are like, "Oh, I came here for the entertainment of you and the callers, great." But I mean, tonight was a different type of night. Just all pretty decent calls.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Like tonight, I'm trying to understand what's going on and learn from it, and I think I've learned quite a bit just by watching your show on many aspects. Sometimes it's about true crime, but then I learned a lot about people just by listening to like tonight's people, yesterday's people. But anyhow, I'll get to what I called in about. I think that your theory is pretty spot on. When you started, the first time I was hearing you say it, I was like, oh, finally somebody was putting this together in a way that, makes sense with what we have available to us. I'm sure there's way more that we don't have, and we'd like to have it, of course, but...
I mean, even that being said, I'm just putting a theory together based on the information we have. Is it correct, though? I mean, who the hell knows? But it wouldn't shock me if it's not correct, but it seems like it's about the only thing that makes sense given all the little nuggets of information that we have, right?
Well, that's the way I would look at it. And some of the things that, I wanted to present to you and get your kind of thoughts on, and I haven't heard anybody touch on, although your previous caller kind of started to just talk about it. So, like, I think when, these people do these types of things, they're not like rational, normal people. To them, there's like this is just our business. We just do this as business. People are they're nothing to them. They might get their jollies from it, but it's transaction and money for these people. So, I wouldn't put it past that they're doing all kinds of things, trafficking, any number of things that these people could do. And, we don't think that way because if we did, we'd be like them. So, but when you follow the true crime and you start to think about it a lot, you try to get into the mind of what these people think. So, I really think that before the girls were murdered, that law enforcement authorities were already trying to track down. Like there was already stuff going on, and they were in pursuit of trying to find these people, and not just
what do you mean? What do you mean before they were murdered? They were already looking for them.
I've always felt that way.
Why? What would make you think that, though?
Well, because the FBI was there initially, and I know that they said that that they had family members there, and that's probably true.
There's just one agent. One agent was there.
Right. Yeah. Right, but if you're tracking down people, as now that we know what we know now, they don't want to let on that they know about all of this. So they're not going to make it so obvious because these people are doing what they're doing. And, if they thought that they were getting too close to them, then they would, maybe chill it down, dial it down. And they don't want to let on to that because they don't want them to dial it down, especially if, they're, as bad as the three main characters we have going on here, which I'm referring to like Keegan and his father and to this Richard Allen guy, they may not be the worst ones. And if they're trying, because obviously if you're going to Vegas to sell this, somebody is buying it. If it turns out that this is the part, that this part of the theory is correct, because we, as you said, it may just be theory. But, we would want to get that person too, because if, I don't know what kind of money is paid for these, but it wouldn't surprise me if your one caller who was putting some price tags on was correct. So, if there's a person out there that's willing to pay that kind of money, and there's no telling how many of these people, and just what you can get on regular immoral acts on the computer. I mean, if you're a 5-year-old child and you know how to dial stuff in, you can find stuff. So, you know, and it's just amazing to me. And this is why that I think that they were already going this route. I think that we kind of can see, you know, you can say, well, they didn't say that, but then they also said there was no social media involved. I kind of wonder about that too, because
well, I mean, it is just pure, but it is just pure speculation to say that they were already looking for well, they're always looking for sexual predators, but I mean,
right?
You know, it's pure speculation to say that they're looking for these particular killers before they were killed. Yeah. There's not even any circumstantial evidence pointing to that. So,
other than just there's a lot of trafficking and all kinds of that kind of stuff, and worldwide, sadly. But they, you know, and yeah, you're right. It is speculation, but there is some elements to base it on, just like the theory that they were already there. They tell us there's no social media, but really there was always social media. They were right on to the Keegan right after,
except for I talked to Robert Ives, and he said there was no connection at the beginning. You know, they got onto that, but that was just a like on a comment at that point. And you know, when he left a year later, they hadn't made all those other connections or got all the information back from the subpoenas from the various, you know, social, like not TikTok, but Snapchat, getting the actual conversations back, you know, things like that.
Right. I'm not saying that they were on to these particular people, but there may have been this idea of there's activity coming from this area, and they were tracking it down, and unfortunately they just didn't get to it before they did what they did by murdering the girls. But it's just some thoughts. And then, you know, the other thing that I wanted to share is just kind of, you know, I just don't think that when I'm listening to the way these main characters flow, sometimes like I can see any of them doing these activities. Not necessarily could Keegan cross the bridge, but I think he could kill someone easily. You know, I mean, their mindset is just to do whatever they want to do for whatever their purpose is. And if Libby had come by herself that day, I do wonder if, you know, because from where the parking area is to where the abandoned CPS building is not that far of a distance. So that may have been an original thing to, you know, to get just her. And that's why Keegan can say something, yeah, I was supposed to meet her that day, but she didn't show up. That may have been something. I don't know. These are just things that I come across, and you know, I wanted to, you know, throw them out at, you know, to you, and, you know, just kind of, I haven't heard anybody even consider those. And just, you know, I'm kind of glad that that you've covered this so well. I mean, there's so many good reasons for having covered it, because now people are realizing, you know, this kind of stuff occurs, and you know, as long as you don't stick your head in the sand, maybe something can be done about it. And I just think that's really good.
All right. Well, I appreciate your words and interesting, you know, well, I guess we'll see. Wouldn't that be interesting if what you said is
it will
something true? But we just got to see that probable cause when it's the proper time to release it. So.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm all for them taking whatever time and doing whatever they have to do to accomplish what they've set out to do. And
well, I appreciate it.
As much grief as law enforcement has gotten, if they need to keep things sealed, I can understand why they would, because look at all the stuff that's gone on the internet. And if everyone did their shows with the integrity that you are trying to present, it would be fine. But with all the stuff that's out there, it's sometimes I feel like it's like back in the days of the Coliseum when people went to watch all this kind of stuff and they put thumbs up or thumbs down, and it's like, this isn't fun time here. This is serious stuff. Okay. And law enforcement takes it serious. You're trying to. The families have been through stuff. It's all serious for them. Yeah. So for watchers and viewers to make it out to be some kind of a show, it's kind of sad. It tells a lot about us, too.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for calling in and giving your perspective. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes, everybody. Who cares if a YouTuber is bringing up a case about we've covered the case of Lyric and Elizabeth for a long time. If it turns out someday that they're related, that's awesome. But you guys are talking about it like, ooh, it's related for sure. It's related for sure. It's ridiculous. It's childish almost. We don't know if Lyric and Elizabeth have anything to do with this case at all, other than that there were 2 other girls killed in 2012. Okay, so quit putting out the names of other channels who are covering stuff that they never covered before because they want to create sensationalism and bring up the Lyric and Elizabeth and make it sound like they're really onto something. We don't have a clue what they're onto. Okay, so just quit doing that. It's lame. It really is. Okay. All right, so here we go. 248.
Hello, Gray.
Yeah.
How are you?
Are you the same person that called last night?
I did call yesterday.
Oh, here we go, everybody. Here we go. What's going on?
No, I was just listening to the show again.
Oh boy, here we go.
I had been watching some other channels, and it was mentioned about a cigarette butt, and that maybe they would be testing that from Richard Allen because he is a smoker.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, when did I first hear that?
Well, it was on the cigarette butt was mentioned on one of the scanner radio audio files a long time ago. From the beginning.
I didn't think it kind of came out of the blue, but it was just brought up on.
What's your name in the chat, by the way?
Lorette.
All right, so that people want you to sing "Happy Birthday." Forget it if you don't.
Happy birthday.
Oh, see.
To you.
That's Marilyn Monroe.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President.
There you go. You're too good at it. You're too good at singing that. Okay.
This has been my voice my whole life, so I don't, even my family doesn't think that it's anything, but I get on here at night and everybody, bananas. Well, that isn't the reason for my call. I do follow the true crime, and I do think you're doing a great job here, and putting out a lot of, the truth, and then trying to intertwine that into intelligent speculation.
Yeah.
The other word for that. What could have happened, what might have been.
Yeah, theory. I'm just theorizing based on the information that we were given. Yep.
Right.
Excellent.
Sorry if you thought I cut you off last night. I don't think I did.
Well, no, you didn't. You were just talking about a criminal YouTuber. That's why.
And I'm sorry I didn't know. So now I know. And
there you go.
I have been watching on and off for, years that you've been on here. And just never, was to get involved. But now I'm up all night, and so I'm watching it, and I'm watching everything else, and so I'm coming here to your channel to put the facts against the rumors.
You know what's weird is you've said nothing like sexy or whatever at all But you make true crime sound like that. That's a weird thing. Do you have a genre called? I've never heard anything like it, man. I mean, it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like you're talking about, yeah.
True crime. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like ASMR, right? Is that what this is?
Well, I was told that, but I don't know what that is, and I don't know how to do it. I could have a true crime ASMR channel.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go.
I don't know. I thought, maybe I could read you a story or
No.
a lullaby or I do write poetry. So.
Oh boy.
But we won't get into that. I was told there's no cause for rhyming.
Yeah.
America anymore.
Maybe
hopefully I can.
Yeah.
Sell them as a song.
Well, everybody likes your comment on here, but I gotta keep going on what I'm doing. But I'm gonna end the show now because it's 3 hours and 20.
You said you were closing the meeting down, and
Yeah.
it is getting late. But I do appreciate you out here. And when I do call, it's about true crime. So,
Okay, good. All right. Well, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
Okay. You have a good night, Gray.
All right. Bye-bye.
Everyone else, too. Bye.
Oh, boy. That is, that's some unusual. You guys keep saying I'm blushing, but I'm not. There's no blushing. I'm just, it's weird. I don't have any, I'm just, it's bizarro world. But man, what a slow night on the super chat front with having 1,500 people watching. This is one of our worst nights in probably, God, what was it? A month. Strange. What happened? Must be the call-ins. And it's weird too because all the regular mods and everybody aren't even here. The regular people, it's just sort of strange. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the show, if you'd like to help out the channel with the super chats and PayPal, well, it hasn't made any difference at all, integrity minded, on this channel. The freaks support it. That'd be great. If not, hit the like button, share the video, do whatever you got to do. All right. But anyways, I think that's going to be, late night wave. There you go, Amber Maiden. All right. Because we're barely even at a giving out something stage. Oh, there he is. 87653. Hey, run, Pixar. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Hangover. TTJO Tracy. Thank you. But it has been nice taking the pressure off the regulars. That's been pretty cool. Yeah, maybe we'll do the beast. We have a different beat, but we'll do Paul Revere at the end. That'd be cool. Have Mary Lou jump in there. Do a little Paul Revere. All right, thank you to Wool Lab. Oh my God, look at that. It's Quietly Frozen. The coolest name in YouTube history. Thank you so much, Quietly Frozen. Yeah, very cool. Chris 22, we've got an M22, an M10, a Chris 22, and oh my God, it's Abby Jello. Man, you guys. Thank you. Very kind. Yeah. And Scooter Larson. And Not Your Average Chick. It took me a long time to figure that out. You remember that when you first put that name on there? I would go, Nitter All Average Chick. Thank you. And then it's like, no, just look at it. Oh, not your... Oh, I see. It's pretty dumb. Anyways, thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. And, like I said before, I don't know if the theories that I've come up with are going to be accurate. I'm just using the information that's been put out there since December, from the very beginning, but mainly since December of 2021. I mean, it really has painted an entire picture that seems like it's a little bit more complicated. Oh my God, thank you, Sarah M. Thank you. And thanks to No Mercy. Yeah. And welcome, T. Yeah, so again about the Evansdale murders of Lyric and Elizabeth. They were just two girls living in a small little town, and they were on their bikes. They went to a park, and then they just absolutely disappeared off the face of the earth. They found their bikes sitting there, and I think some other items I can't remember, but right at the park, and we have it all mapped out and everything. And then months later, they had told hunters to look out if they ever found anything, and their bodies were found sort of similarly. The woods looked similar, everything looked kind of similar, and they were found there. Now every time there's a suspect in the Delphi case, they want everybody to look at that person for the Evansdale murders. Okay, so it's no different on this one. This guy finally is the person they believe is the killer, and I think he is. He looks exactly like the guy on the bridge. So I think he is the killer, and so everybody wants it to be related, and they want to talk about it, and it just creates a sensationalistic buzz and everything. And we don't even know if they're looking at that currently. They're trying to get the Delphi case buttoned up, okay? Now, maybe that's what was in the affidavit. But I've looked up his address. He never lived in Evansdale, Iowa. Okay, he never lived there. I don't even have an Iowa address that he's lived. So I'm not sure where people are going, oh, he lived there, and trying to come up with some association. Yeah, listen, there are a ton, I was going to say shitload, of barbarians out there. Okay? We already know that, so it's not really crazy to think that there's some other predator. Here's the thing. Guess what, everybody? Let me ask you something. Would any of you consider the cases related at all if there was just maybe one of those two girls was murdered? Lyric? Let's say Lyric was murdered. Would you then the only reason people really connect them is because there's two. And yeah, that's the thing. It's only because there's two and they go, oh my God, they're connected. And they could be, sure, but I mean, if there was, the fact that there's two is why people say that. And the reason that there's two in these cases are both pure chance and luck. Okay, by the killer. It's like these two girls were just riding bikes. Abby and Libby just happened to go there together. There was no, like the other person didn't know that Abby might have been there. So here's what I will tell you is that I hope that they're related. You didn't know anything about true crime at all? One Shot 925? I just don't want, I don't know. Just don't get, let's not get too carried away on something without having any information whatsoever pointing to a connection. That's all I'm trying to tell you. All right? Hey, thanks. Verbal judo. I like that one. I used to think the two were connected, but I don't now. There are monsters everywhere. Yeah. I mean, people can't say that they're not connected until there's an investigation done. But I'm not holding my breath. Okay. I hope they are, to get an answer for Drew and all the family members out there that lost these two children, because they deserve answers too. But for the fact that Lyric or Elizabeth did not film the guy coming towards them saying, get in my car or something like that, that case would have been just as popular as this one. It just shows you how important it is to have a little piece of media or something for everybody to dig into. I'll tell you this again. Imagine the Delphi case over all these years if there was no bridge guy and there was no audio. This would have been the coldest seeming case ever, but the image and the audio kept the case alive and everybody talking about it for all those years. But just picture the case without that. There would be absolutely nothing. Imagine what would they have talked about at the 2000, the February, I think it's 22nd, or was it 20, yeah, I think it's 24th or whatever. It was right at the beginning, the big press conference. They wouldn't have been able to give us anything. They wouldn't have given us the image, and they wouldn't have given, now here's the voice, now listen carefully, right? They would have had maybe a profile that somebody could have given. A guy, somebody that changed their hair, something like that. And you know what's interesting about it is the voice and the audio have done nothing. They have not helped other than keep it out there. But in terms of leading to a killer, it doesn't seem to have helped at this point. But here's what it did do, is it created a ton of attention to the case, and maybe that alone maybe have had something to do with it being solved. So, I mean, and the weird part is when every time I talk to Robert Ives, he'll even say, hey, when I've told you this before, Gray. If you were told going into a case that you have video of the killer and their voice, you would think the case would be solved in a week. And it wasn't. And the guy lived in plain sight right there in the town. How crazy is that? All right. Okay, you guys, I think I'm done now. So hold on a second. All right. And what we're going to do now, tonight we're going to give away we'll give away the, what was it? The It's a House mug and a free cart mug with a sketch. How do you like that? Now, if you want to get I'm going to make the notebook only for, like, you ordered the notebook. And the people who want the notebook, it looks like this. Hold on. I don't know if this one has writing on the front, but look at this. People they told me to put this sketch on there. Okay, so don't go, oh, look at Gray, he's got a picture. Look, okay, so it's right there, and it comes with a little pencil and stuff on it. And, it's got pages that you can write on. And it's pretty cool, Yeah, and some people get second notebooks because they fill up the first one. All right? Yeah, but maybe I'll make a new one that has, like, Chloe in blue on the front. Or maybe all three of us will just... Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Thank you to... I didn't get there. Hold on a second. The wheel... Yeah, get the names in there. Oh, crap. Where is the... Oh, there you go. There we go. Got it. All right. So thank you to Cheryl Bullock. Lady Brighty became a new member, so welcome. Tired Tina, aren't we all tired? Is a new member, so welcome. Candalee Woodward Stone, thank you very much. Kathy Friedenmaker. Candalee Woodward Stone's been here for 15 months as a Freak 101. Glam, a new member, welcome. Mary Gonzalez, you are a new channel member, welcome. Apocalypse Frau. Mecky Techie. Thank you very much for the nice comment there. Yeah. And then Lori Fisher, Cindy J, Tamara, not today, but tomorrow. Gotta hit that. Brian Harmon, Mary Anderson, LMM, Annie T. I think I just skipped a mile on me there. Hold on. Yeah, Annie T, Kit Kat, 8675309. Do I have to sing it? No, I'm not going to do it. Richard Canick, Richard the Mechanic Canick. He called in. Rad Story, Lex Lux. And thanks for all the great callers tonight. Even the Marilyn Monroe impersonator at the end. Although I think that is maybe her real voice. I don't know. Scooter Larson, Eugenie, Bree Rice, Madrox Boogie, twice. Paul K, Amber Maiden, 8675309 again. Thank you very much. TTGO Tracy, which is actually Jen there. So. Wool Lab, TTJO Tracy's not Jen, but the other name was. And then Quietly Frozen, the coolest name in YouTube history, with a cat eye donation. Then Chris, 22. Abby Jello, another cat eye donation, thank you. Scooter Larson, Not Your Average Chick. Sarah M, No Mercy. Cairo, Jeff. Oh, yeah, well, thank you, Cairo, for that. He said just to make super chats a little bit better. And then Jeff and something like, I don't even want to read that one, but Boggle Queen, something out cats. Okay. Thank you there. And then thanks to, where was that? Oh, yeah, and also Mary Tenor, or Tenor maybe, or maybe it's probably Tenor, I guess. And Lillian on PayPal. So thank you guys very much, and thanks for all the callers. And I think there was even a, let's see, what is that called? The Cash App. Somebody, hold on a second. I gotta get on my phone. I think it was an actual Venmo, which I almost never get, but it was. Hold on. Yeah, it was like Christy Quasi. So thank you very much. All right. So you guys ready? I'm going to spin for the It's a House mug. And for those of you who don't know what It's a House mug is, it's this one right here. Listen. It's a house! Okay, it has a picture of Alec Murdoch on the front, and then on the back, I think there's a heart or something. It says, like, for the freaks. But, so this voice right here, listen again. It's a house! Okay, so this is the origin of that is in the Alec Murdoch murder case, where it's likely he killed his son and his wife. He was on a 911 call, and he was like, please hurry. Please do this. Oh, hey. Oh, God. Oh, please hurry. And then the operator said, do you live in a mobile home? And he said, it's a house. Wow. I mean, boy. I mean, he didn't have much emotion at all. But when they had the audacity, the unmitigated audacity to ask Alec Murdoch, the legend, if he lived in a mobile home. It's a house. How dare you? Exactly. All right. Anyways, so that's the Alec Murdoch mug, and then we'll be giving out the free card mug with a sketch. All right. So let me put that in there. And if you happen to look in, you want to take the time and look at the spins and your name doesn't show up in there, you can just send me an email and say, hey, Gray, I didn't get my name put in there. Okay? Because I try to do as best I can, but sometimes when the things are going on with the show and everything, I don't catch every single one. Okay? Hopefully that isn't the main thing. Like, oh, Gray, I'm only here because I want a chance to win a mug. Okay. Just a second. It's a house! Oh, and he also said this. He was talking to his son in prison, and his son said something. He said, huh? Huh? What'd you say, Buster? Huh? Oh my God, it was just ridiculous. All right, here we go, here we go. Hey, well, thank you for being here, everybody. Denture Dialogue, Annie T, Bobby Smith, Carissa Goodwin, Paulette Leonard, Buckle Bunny, Verbal Judo, Boggle Queen, Rad Story, Scooter Larson, oh, and Lillian Gale, and don't forget Michelle Roth, M10. Oh, M10, you don't have a 10, you have an M10. And Sherry S, Art and Design Studios, Carrie Ann Heikkinen, Amber Maiden. Huh? Not your average chick. Dan Carr. Jeff. Lorca. Siren Head. Alifair M. Scooter Larson. Midas Touch. Loves Mascara 007, which makes absolutely no sense at all, but it is a really long name. And Annie T. and Brian Pierce. And I'm not saying your name. Outcats, and Verbal Judo, and Colleen Dahmen, Terry Ann Heikkinen again, and then Sherry is. Okay, anyways, here we go. I'm going to put it up here, and we're going to spin right now. This is for the Alec Murdoch
It's a house.
mug. There we go. Look at that, it's Annie T. That's the Alec Murdoch one. Okay, now here we go again. Here we go again. This is for the Free Cart mug with a sketch on it. Maybe we'll do two of these. All right, here we go. Free Cart mug with a sketch. Here we go. Free Cart mug with a sketch. Or maybe not. Gold in Fire. Wow. Golden Fire. You got to send me your address and tell me what you want. Here's another one. We'll make this one for the notebook here. This last one here. We will give away a notebook. Oh, look at that. Went to Carolina T for the notebook. Do you have a notebook, Carolina T? Are you still out there? If you don't, if you have the notebook, then send me, I'll send you the free cart mug with a sketch. All right, there we go. Awesome, you guys. Very cool, very cool. And no whining and crying if you don't win, okay? Because that's not really what the show's about, right, Jeff? All right. Remember when Zozo would cry every time she didn't win? In the chat. Yeah, I felt bad. Made me sad. Not really. All right. So thank you guys very much for being here. Yeah, remember that, Zozo? Thank you guys very much for being here. And people would send me emails. Gray, if I win, give the prize to Zozo, okay? Hey, Gray, give the... Listen, if I win, I know he'll give. And I was like, you guys, she's not hurting for anything. You know, listen, just she'll get taken care of. Don't worry about it. That was hilarious. Anyways, thank you guys very much, and we will see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, everybody, until next time. Wait, where was I? Oh yeah, right here. Be safe out there. All right. I almost hit myself in the face on that one. I'd like to punch you in the face too, Gray. I don't like you. Hey, bad acid reflux. Wow. Well, take some Prilosec. You'll love it. Okay? You'll love it. I mean, forget the dementia part of it. Just... Hey, thank you. I put you on for the spin tomorrow. I want to know if Richard Allen's name is one of the black names in Keegan's interrogation. Well, I'll tell you what. I do have the unredacted one, so I don't think so. I think if it was, his name would have been out there a long time ago. Because people have had the unredacted one for a long time. All right, guys. Thank you very much for being here. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Hold on. I got to turn down the music. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector,
Uncertified human lie detector.
Gonna get ya
On a stretcher.
if you try and play me like an old projector.
Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture.
Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector.
Fool refractor, interceptor, and a meter than a spectre with a vector.
On his pector, with all respect, y'all. Just remember I've a temple fucking check ya.
I have no agenda, I'm no pretender. And I'll send it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya
on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later.
Look at the freaks! Look at those freaks! Aren't they neat? He told a little story, the son of a rehearsed, for his own running it. Here's a little story I got to tell about three bad brothers you know so well. Started way back in history with that Rock MCA and me, Mike D. Had a little horse, his name was Paul Revere. Me and my horsey and a quart of beer. Running across the land, kicking up sand. Sheriff calls it on my pill cause I'm in demand. One only beastie I be, all about myself without nobody. The sun was beating down on my baseball hat. It was getting hot, the beer was getting flat. Looking for a girl, I ran into a guy. His name was MCA, I said howdy, he said hi. He told a little story, the son of a rehearsed. 4 days on the run and then he's dying of thirst. The brew was in my hand and he was on my tip. His focus was rose right up before a sip. He's like, I got some, I should get done. I had a chance to run, he pulled a shotgun. Quick on the draw, I thought I'd be dead. He put the gun to my head and this is what he said. My name is MCA, I got a license to kill. I hope you know what time it is, it's time to get ill. Now what do we have here? An outlaw on his beer. I run this land to understand, I make myself clear. He stepped into the gunny and a grin. You think the story's over, but it's ready to begin. The gun, you got the brew. You got two choices of what you can do. It's not up to the shizzin' as you can see. I can blow you away or you can ride with me. I said I'll ride with you if you can get me to the border. Sheriff's after me for what I did to his daughter. Did it like this, did it like that. Did it with a rubber ball pat. So I'm on the run, I got my gun. Right about now it's on to have some fun. King and Rock is my name, and I know the fly spot where they got the champagne. So we rolled 6 hours and we hit the spot. Rope was open and that girl was hot. The dude was staring like he knows who we are. We took him to the spot next to him at the bar. Yippee-yo, you know this kid? I said I did, but I know he did. Kid said get ready, this ain't funny. My name's Mike D and I'm about to get money. Pulled out the jammy, aimed it at the sky, and let do fly. Hands went up, people hit the floor. I wasted 2 kids that ran for the door. I'm Mike D and I get respect. The cash in the jewelry is what I expect. MCA was with it, he's my ace. So I grabbed a piano player and I punched him in the face. Piano player's out, music stopped. Boy got 8, he got dropped. Mike D grabbed the money, MCA snatched the gold. Grabbed 2 girlies and a beer that's cold. That wasn't too bad, Mary Lou.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad, Mary Lou. Good job.
Thanks, John Boy and Timmy.
Could I try one? Can I try one?
Timmy, you're terrible, Timmy. Why would you want to try one?
Because I'd like to try one.
I want to do one too. Can I do one too, Mary Lou?
You sound like me. John Boy, what the hell are you doing? That's crazy. Right, stop. Collaborate and listen. I sit back with this brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flows like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow to the extreme. I rock the mic like a vandal, light up the stage and watch the jump like a vandal's dance. Cause the speakers that boom, killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom, deadly. When I play a dope melody, anything less than the best is a felony. Love it, leave it, better game way. Better hit bowls that a kid don't play.
If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook of my DJ Revolve it.
Oh my god, that sucked to me. Now that the party is jumping, with the bass kicked in and the beggars are pumping, quick to the point, cause the point no faking, cooking MCs like a pound of bacon, burning them, yeah, quick and nimble, go crazy when I hear the cymbal with a hi-hat, with a souped up tempo, I'm on a roll, time to go solo, rolling, in my 540 with a rack top down so my hair can blow, the girl is on standby, waiting just to say hi, did she stop? No, just drove on, kept on, pursuing to the next stop, about the left, I'm headed to the next block. The light was it, y'all, so I continued to A1A. Detroit Avenue, girls wear hot, wear less than bikini, rock, wear lover, driving Lamborghinis, jealous, cause I'm out getting mine. She was a gauge and another was a 9. Gunshot, ranged out like a bell. I carried 9 out of her with shells, falling on the concrete real fast, jumped in my car, slammed on the gas, bumper to bumper, avenues packed, trying to get away from the jackers act. Police were on the scene, you know what I mean?
They bounced me up in front of all the dolphins.
If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook, my DJ Revolve it. M-A-S-T-E-R, a G with a double E. I said I go by the unforgettable name of the man I call the Master G. Well, my name is known all over the world. They all the foxy ladies and the pretty girls. I'm going down in history as the baddest brother there ever could be. Now I'm feeling the highs and I'm feeling the lows. The beat starts getting into your toes. You start popping your fingers and stamping your feet and moving your body and you're sitting on the center. I said, damn. You start doing the freak. I said, damn. I ride it out of your seat. Then you throw your hands high in the air. You rock to the beat with a daddy care. You rock to the beat without a care. With the show aside, MCs for the affair. Now I'm not as tall as the rest of the game, but I can rap to the beat just the same. Got a little face and a pair of brown eyes. I'm a credit to the ladies is hypnotized.
Why'd you stop, Mary Lou?
Cause I think the damn music's gonna run out. He does it to me every time.
Yeah, wow.
Poppity poppy poppy pop diddy diddy poppy pop pop. You don't dare stop, I come alive, yo. Give me what you got, cause I'm guaranteed to make you rock. Said 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me wonder, Mike, what are you waiting for? Poppity poppy poppy pop diddy diddy poppy pop pop. Crime dissector, threat rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher. You can try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Craig is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pop protector, food reflector, interceptor. Got a meaner than a specter with a vector on his vector. With all respect, y'all. Alright, you guys. Well, thank you very much. You know, I'm glad you guys stayed around and.
Wow, thanks for blowing everybody's eardrums out with the whistle there, Mary Lou. It's good times. Good times. All right, you guys. Well, thank you all for being here tonight. Really appreciate it. Mary Lou helped you guys out at the end. A little extracurricular activities. I'm never going to have her on again.
What do you mean, Graham? Everybody loves me. They hate you, though. They hate you. They hate you. They hate you. They hate you. They hate you.
Well, that's what they say. They do say that a lot, Mary Lou. But, I mean, I think people pretend that they like you to make you feel good.
What do you mean, Graham?
Oh my God, are you really that upset, Mary Lou? You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, Mary Lou, that seemed really dramatic.
Yeah, I was wondering, do you think she's serious?
I really am, you guys.
What did I even say, Mary Lou?
I don't remember, but it's really bad.
Oh my God, what the hell happened to you?
Nothing. Hey, you guys have a good night, okay?
Oh my God, a poser. What a joker that person is. Unbelievable. What a baby. All right, you guys, we'll see you guys tomorrow, but man, I'm not sure Mary Lou's going to be here.
Please, Gray, please.
Okay, Mary Lou, you can come back, all right? Jeez. All right, good night, everybody. Wow. Unbelievable. And be safe out there.
Goodbye, everybody. Gee.